Hello everyone, and peace of Christ all of you. Please invite your friends and let us have some great time together. Before we start, I see a Muslim, he called himself Potato, and he is arguing about what is an Israeli. And a Potato, as I understand from that comment, he is a Muslim. And the Muslim do not know what Israeli mean. Yes, this is true, because their prophet do not know what Israeli means. So how you expect a Muslim Potato to know what Israeli mean? I like it when a Muslim, he played the game like, what does that mean? What Israeli mean? Can you tell me what Israeli mean? I do not know what that mean. Okay, what the black stone mean? I don't know what the black stone mean. Okay, what Muhammad mean? I mean, you are a Muslim, you know nothing. You do not know what Abraham mean. You do not know what Israel mean. You do not know what Ishmael mean. You do not need to know what Jibreel mean. You do not know anything. I mean, you are a Muslim, and this is why you call yourself Potato. So what Jacob mean? You don't know. What Isa mean? You don't know. What Allah mean? You have no idea. So the Muhammadan are very unique. When they speak and they try to argue, you find like somebody, he just came from the hospital and he is infected with diarrhea and the poo is all over the place, and you need to turn the fan off immediately. Otherwise, it's going to be in your city. We don't want to waste your time. Our Skype is open. If there is any Muslim other than the one who jihad in the chat, they are willing to call us and tell us if Muhammad is a prophet. As you see, we have a challenge. Christians versus Muslims. And, the question is very simple. Who is Muhammad? Prove to me that even Muhammad exists. What his name mean? Why he's a prophet? Who is your God? Muslims, they can answer only if they are debating themselves. Actually, just to be honest with you, I saw a video of Ali Dawah. He is challenging women. Saudi girl, liberation ends in tears. Man, you are the man. Oh boy. Other idiot, in the market, Sabil Ahmed. The jinn are behind this. That's, He almost passed out after seeing this. Andre Tate breakdown satanist. I mean, things is getting complicated. Yesterday they were celebrating for Andre Tate and etc. and now Genie, and what the heck is that? I searched for evidence that Muhammad is a prophet of Allah, which supposedly he is a god. And then I found that Mimi Hijab, he found an answer. He says how to prove Prophet Muhammad, prophethood of a Prophet Muhammad in 10 minutes. Now for sure, after wearing this hat and taking off your t-shirt in front of the Chinese embassy and hanging up on me 7 times, for sure you can prove it. Let us see, we have a Muslim. He is texting me. Give me a second. Let us see if he want to talk or not. His name, Mr. Khan. Okay. Muhammad is a messenger of God and the last prophet. I mean, how a Muslim he proved to me that Muhammad is a prophet? He quote for me Quran. Who is the one who brought the Quran? Muhammad. I mean, do you see how smart they are? Hello? Hello, my friend. Are you a Muslim? Okay. So you said to me Muhammad is a prophet?
Yes.
Why he is a prophet?
Quran.
Yeah, this is Fakira. Quran. Fakira making himself a girl. But, I mean, you don't need to make yourself a girl. You are a girl. Quran, Fakira. I mean, you are the one who said the F word to your prophet, and you even dare to call me Potato. Do we have any real Muhammadan, a man, not a girl changing her voice. Who is a Muslim? He can tell us how we can prove that Muhammad is a prophet. Muhammad Hijab, he said, Mimi Hijab. The Quran says, like he said, there is the first proof is the perfection. But isn't this the same guy who asked Yasser Qadhi, his master? And Yasser Qadhi, he says the standard narratives has holes in it. And now the video here saying that Allah, he challenged the kuffar, saying, well, produce a surah like this if you are, look at the God challenge, man. The God, he says, can you write a page like my page? Okay, that's mean I'm God too. Who can write a page like my page? I have 4 books. Can Allah write a page like my page? Page, just a page, not the whole book. I mean, how silly, how stupid this is challenge. This God, they have nothing better to do except making a challenging you to write a book like mine. Have you ever heard of such a silly challenge? Do we have any Muhammadan here? Who can make bread like my bread? Like yesterday I posted in Patreon saying, who can make bread like mine? If nobody can make bread like mine, and if you even if you make a bread like mine, I will say it's not like mine, man. This is not like mine. So I must be God. This is how the God of Islam, he challenged, and what a challenge. So who can make a book like Shakespeare? Nobody can. Even Shakespeare himself, if you write the same book again, he will not write it the same. It's not going to be the same. Like, instead of saying, who can resurrect people from death like Jesus? Okay, that's really something. Who can walk in water? Who can control nature? Who can make the blind see? Who can heal the leper just by touching them, not by giving them medicine like Allah? He sent a dish of shish kebab from Muhammad because his private part is not working. And Allah knows best why his private part is not working. So this is the challenge, make a surah like it, but then we find that Muhammad received satanic verses. We find that Muhammad, he received, he copied Umar ibn Khattab. We found that Muhammad, he copied Abdullah ibn Sarah, which is his scribe. Oh boy. Let us see, maybe this is Fakira again. Fakira, don't waste your time. I will never let you do mut'a in my channel. Hello? It must be Fakira. Yeah, just shut up. I mean, don't you have a shame? You're like a bug, little boy. Go join the club. There is a Muslim guy. He's a nice guy. He's not a bad person. Very nice actually. But he's very naive. So once he went to a club, and he told me that when he went there, there's somebody he tried to steal his wallet. And the funny, you believe it or not, his name is Abdul. I'm not joking. So I said, okay, what you did? He said, I look at him. Said, that's it. He's very friendly person. And then one day I was walking with him, and we walk in front of the club, which he claimed that he was there. And he said, this is the club where I was the guy who was trying to steal my wallet. I said, Abdul, do you see what it says there? It says gay club. The guy was not stealing your wallet you eat. It was touching your ass. He have a round ass, his ass like big. You have a round ass. So this Abdul, he thought that the guy is trying to steal his wallet. Maybe we should send Fakira, and then he can prove herself there, and let us see how many people will steal her wallet. And he will, at least he will get busy. He will find, she will find something more attractive. Do we have any Muhammadan here? Yeah, the guy is touching his ass. He thought he's trying to steal his wallet. I said, you idiot, don't you see it says gay club? So what does that mean? So what does that mean? This guy was touching your ass. You like it? No way. Yeah, way. Yeah. He said, no wonder he touched it twice. And I look at him and he did it again. I said, really? And what you do? I said, I stared at him. I said, what a man you are. Hero. Like he stared at them, you know, like. Anyway, do we have any Muhammadan would like to call us and tell us how Muhammad is a prophet? Anyone? This is the challenge of Allah. Make a surah like it. I mean, are you serious? I mean, this is the most stupid, silly religion ever. First of all, if I make a surah like it, who is going to be the judge? The Muslims? They will say, no way. It's wrong. It's full of mistakes. Secondly, is that a language challenge? Allah speaks good Arabic, but the Quran is full of mistakes, and as the Quran is full of words, it's not even Arabic. So what did that mean? Okay, can you make Injil like it? Can you make Torah like it? Can you make Ten Commandments like it? I mean, Ten Commandments, very short. Can you make like it? What does that mean? This is the most stupid, silly, you know, argument. Those Abdul, they are bankrupt. They have nothing. Their prophet is a false prophet. Instead of saying to us, Prophet Muhammad, he healed the leper, he made the blind see, he raised people from death. No, they are saying what? Can you write like it? And the funny is, they claim that Muhammad do not know how to write, how to read. And then we find in the chapter of when he speak about Al-Khaliqeen, Allah is the best of the creators, that Muhammad, he copied that from a man, his name is Abdullah ibn Sarah, and this guy, he left Islam because Muhammad copied his sentence and he put it in the Quran. Oh. Do we have any Muhammadan here? Any Muhammadan would like to call us and tell us how Muhammad is a prophet of Allah? Born to be a messenger. Look. This guy, guys, he have a solution for everything. This guy, born to be a messenger, Prophet Muhammad. He's born to be a messenger. Yeah. How he is born to be a messenger? You tell me, how does that mean? Like, what does that mean? Was it a part of the plan of Allah to have a wife, she is a child, to claim that, you know, women have a sperm coming from their ribs, and the sun set in murky water, and the whale of Musa's disappear in the water, and he made a tunnel? Who can make Quran like this? Huh? Anyone? Do we have any Muhammadan? Anyone? Who is a Muhammadan would like to join us live on air channel? Is Muhammad a prophet? If you do not know how to call me in Skype, let me help you. It's very easy. You download the Skype, you look for this link, and you will find me, Arabian Prophet / Christian Prince, and simply you click call, and I will answer you immediately. Actually, don't call, text me, because you cannot call me directly. I have to call you. Do we have any Muhammadan? Any Muhammadan here would like to call us and join us? Who is a Muhammadan? He can call his sheikh in Indonesia, the Ustad. You know, the Ustads of Indonesia, they are very smart, they are very intelligent. And, you know, as you know, for sure they can win any debate so easy. So I don't find any reason. And, you know, if Allah is with you, who could be against you? Nobody. Do you think anyone can be against you? But, you know, sometimes I ask myself, if Allah is strong, as long as the Muslim is speaking about who can make Quran like this, I find it very embarrassing when we see in the Quran a verse like this. Remember, who can make verse like this? Who can make surah like this? Nobody. And the funny at that time, Muhammad don't have even surahs. What surahs? Because later he put them together. They were not surahs. Surahs was supposedly a chapter in the Quran, not just one verse. If you remember in the Quran, you know, there is tons of stories and tons of crazy stuff about fictions, prophet, flying carpet, you know. But there's things proven to us that Allah cannot be God. As an example, Muhammad, he had a fight with 2 wives. And those 2 wives, they are 2 parties, like the Republican and Democrat, just to make it simple for you. The wives of Muhammad, they have 2 leaders. And they go and they did a strike against Muhammad because he was an evil man. And then Allah, he gave Muhammad this verse. And remember, the Muslims, maybe Hijab is saying, can you produce surah like this? Can you produce a chapter like this? Look at this. The wives of Muhammad, I mean, the translation here, they are adding too much. And you know, the Quran is so easy to understand and nobody can make like it. Allah make it so clear to the point we have 1,000 interpretation. And yet the Muslim, they say Allah knows best what he meant by this verse. I mean, do you see? Nobody can make Quran like this. It's so clear. Like Allah was so good in Arabic to the point the Muslim, they have to add stories between the lines to make it like simple. Even though the verse, there is nothing here. The wives of Muhammad, obviously, Allah is threatening them. If they don't behave, he is going to side with Muhammad. He is going to side with Muhammad. Read carefully. If you two, between 2 prophets, the wives of Muhammad, and here you see the stupid Quran. I mean, shouldn't you say to who? Okay. Namely Aisha. Okay, so the Quran did not even mention their names. So how we will know which 2? No problem. Let it go. Turn into repentance to Allah. Okay. Between 2 brackets, it will be better for you. Look at the threat. Your heart are indeed inclined. Between 2 brackets, to oppose what the Prophet SAW like. Oof, what happened? Well, it's very simple, brother. You know, I mean, wives, sometimes they like something, the husband likes something else. Like what? Christian Prince. First of all, this is not about the wife being angry from the Prophet Muhammad. Prophet Muhammad, he like hummus. I said he don't like hummus. So now the wives of the Prophet, they are making strike against hummus. So, Zakir, Naik, are you saying the whole problem now is eating hummus? Exactly. So the Prophet wives, he said, we don't want to eat hummus. The Prophet, he said, I want to eat hummus. And then Allah, he made a threat for them. You have to eat hummus, you like it or not. Otherwise, Allah will side with him. Okay, wow, that's a serious issue, man. Okay, and then Zakir, you want to say anything? Exactly. So if you see the verse that said, if you help anyone another against him, Allah verily is his Mawla. Do you know what Mawla means, Christian Prince? No, I don't speak Arabic. You speak Arabic. You tell me. Mawla in Arabic. Hold on. Let me start Google. Okay, Mawla in Arabic, between the bracket, Lord and or Master or Protector. What the heck? So Allah is saying to Muhammad, Allah will be his protector and master if they are against him. So he is not before that, only now. Listen, Prince, first of all, this is a serious issue. Imagine you like hummus and your wife, you don't want to eat hummus. So what you do? What I would do? Go Allah, Allah, so Allah is like the God of the hummus. Exactly. So the Prophet, he said, he told them, Allah told me this, so they did not repent. Okay, what happened next? And Allah, he said to them, and if you don't repent, I will support him, protect him. What the heck? And I see here there's more people joining in the fight. Exactly. And he said, furthermore, Jibreel. Like, what the heck? So Allah and Jibreel now, they are involving in the fight about the hummus? Exactly. And it says here, and all the righteous among the believers. Exactly. That's mean you. Exactly. And that mean me, Hijab, Susu, Dudu, No, Kuku, all of them. Exactly. All of those against two women. Exactly. And it says here, and furthermore, it is the angels, all the angels involved in the fight. Exactly. Zakir, Naik, Christian Prince is going to jump from the windows. He keeps exactly. You kill me with this. Exactly. I'm eating bread because I want to kill you. Zakir, Naik, don't do that. So now, I thought those are two wives, and they are opposing eating hummus. So why in the world all this army is involved? Allah, Jibreel, every righteous believer, and furthermore the angels. All of this because of hummus? And this is a clear verse, if you think carefully, prove to you that Muhammad is a false prophet. I mean, isn't it enough to say Allah? What, the guy is a man. I mean, you see the Muslim, they say that Muhammad was a leader. What leader? This guy is a potato. I mean, he is using Allah to protect himself from two women. And not only that, making a threat that all the Mujahideen, they will join, and Abu Bakr and Umar and all the Muslims and every righteous, and Jibreel. Even Jibreel is there. If we ask the Muslims, can Allah protect Muhammad alone? If he say yes, that means all of this is a fraud. Right? If Allah is a protector, who need Jibreel? What Jibreel for? And what the righteous for? And what the furthermore the angels? What is that? Are you going to work using nuke against Putin? Those are two women in the house. Here you can tell that the one who is making this verse is Muhammad, and there is no way this God will speak in such a language. It's a stupid language in Arabic. Fake a threat, meaningless, useless, and it's showing you how weak this God. Why we need all of those to protect a man from two wives? Why we need all of those to protect a man from two wives? Those are two women. They are not even from like different religion or anything. So what the point of all of this? Anyone will send me pictures in Skype, I don't download, and then I will block you. So just to let you know, if you don't want to be blocked, don't do that. You can post pictures of Muhammad or etc. in Google and post into people, but not to me. I don't open pictures. I don't open links. I don't open anything. Do we have any Muhammadan would like to call us? Why no more notification from my live stream? Because maybe YouTube turned it off for you. You should just check it on again. Do we have any Muhammadan would like to call us and tell us how Muhammad look? And this is why we laugh when Mimi Hijab, he says, the Quran have a challenge. Who can make a chapter like this? Chapter like this? Two wives fighting with the Prophet, and the Prophet sending, receiving message from his God saying, Jibreel and Allah and every believer and the angels and every human being in this earth are going to join the fight to protect Muhammad from two women. They are 5 foot tall. And this is the proof that Muhammad is a prophet and Allah is God. Can you make a verse like this? Can you make a chapter like this? Any Muhammadan? Do we have any Abdul? Who is a Muhammadan? He is educated, he is smart, he can defend his religion, and he can tell us what Islam is about. Nobody? What is the brave Muhammadan? Where is, you know? How do you know that Paul did not corrupt our mispart anything consider Christian flow, major Paul teaching? My friend, Mr. Lefanzo, you are really silly and stupid, because the faith of a Christianity is not even based on the writing of Paul. You are an idiot. None of the 4 Gospels is written by Paul. Idiot. So when you talk about Paul, you are claiming as if Paul is the one who have a book, it's called the Gospel. He don't. And you are a potato. Secondly, your funny Muhammad, he confirmed that Paul is a messenger of Allah. And we mentioned that many times. Number 3, the Quran says, give us your proof if you are truthful. Actually, Hijab, when he was reading this, he said, give us your proof if you are truthful. So the Muhammadan, they came 600 years after Jesus, and then they want to teach us about people they never saw, they never met, they never have an idea about them, they don't even speak the language, they don't even know who is Jesus, they don't know what the Trinity is, and then they want to school us about who is Paul. Potatoes. If we take all the writing of Paul and we delete it, nothing will change in the Christian faith. All of them, they confirm that Jesus is the Son of God, Father, Son, Holy Spirit, Jesus crucifixion, Jesus coming back, Jesus resurrection, Jesus healing the blind. Nothing will change. If we have Paul writing or not, nothing will change. Paul confirmed what is in the 4 Gospels, not the opposite. It's not us following Paul and leaving the Gospel. So you are silly and you say things which does not make sense. But you are a Muslim, I understand. Right? I mean, what do you expect from a Muslim? Ultimate fart destroy me? For sure, you know, he fart. You know, always those Muslims, they fart. And then the second you fart, a lot of fog will happen. And this is why the Prophet, he spoke a lot about farting. If we go to the Hadith, this is why we call him Muslim, you know, ultimate fart, because he can destroy everything. If we go to the Hadith and I type in English, fart, I will not even type in Arabic. Fart. You will find that Islamic Prophet Muhammad is heavily educated about farting. I did not even type anything. I just typed the word fart in English. Allah apostles say the prayer of a person who does hadath, passing urine, stool or wind. So now the Muslim is praying and he is passing urine and his stool is coming and the wind is whistling. All of this when he is praying in the mosque. So what do you do in the bathroom? I mean, this guy is astonishing. If you what? If you pass your, now, you know, your prayer is not accepted. Look like we have a bad internet. Well, it's normal usually in the weekend time. Read with me. My father said, during the lifetime of Allah Apostle. You see, this is during the lifetime of Allah Apostle. Huh? During what? The lifetime. Muhammad is there. The dogs use to urinate and pass through the mosque. Come and go. I love it when the Muslim, they add those brackets. Brother, now we understand exactly what's happening. Come and go. What? Come and go. Like, how, 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 how. One is coming. Hey, brother, where are you going? Oh, okay, go. Yeah, he went to piss. All right. So, he left his leg and he started pissing. And what the Muslims do? Not a single Muslim, not Muhammad, he do clean the piss, the urine of dogs. Where? In the house of Allah. So you can imagine how clean was the house of Allah. And now what the Muslim, they will say to you, oh, this is da'if, this is da'if hadith, this is da'if. No, this is al-Bukhari. Anything they don't like, they call it da'if, because this is da'if religion. This is a weak religion. Allah is weak, Muhammad is weak, Muslims are weak, and they blame the Jews for everything. You know? And by the way, are you going to blame the Jews for those dogs? When, who sent those dogs? Don't you think they are trained? You know? I think they are trained. And I want to ask, how come Allah could not prevent the thought in the head of the dog, like the dog is thinking, why Allah? Don't you Muslims believe in destiny? Everything is destiny. So Allah is making destiny for a dog to go and piss inside the mosque. I mean, can't he change his destiny, like to go somewhere else? Why inside the mosque? You do not need to copy it from inside your phone, my friend. Just type it, take a screenshot, type it in your Skype, and you will find me. You have a verse saying earth is a flat? I don't know, what do you mean? What does that mean? You mean the Quran? My friend, the Quran, all of it is a flat, not only the earth. Muhammad is a flat. Everything is a flat. Christian Prince, first of all, you are lying for people. The word flat in English means apartment. And flat in the Quran, that means the same. So when Allah he said the earth is flat, he don't mean that the earth is flat. He's saying that the earth is an apartment. If you go to England, you can see that people there, they say the word is flat. If you go to America, they say apartment. So Allah, when he said the word flat, he don't mean the earth is flat. He means the earth is like an apartment, you live in it. Zakir, Naik, you are genius, man. But there's no flat, there is etc. This is in Arabic. In Arabic, it says, you know, سطحت. سطحت. What flat? What apartment? What are you talking about? Christian Prince. First of all, I speak Arabic very well. Okay, speak to me in Arabic. Well, today I don't feel like speaking. Okay, what about yesterday? I don't feel like speaking. What about the day before? I don't feel like speaking. So when you are going to speak to me in Arabic, I don't feel like speaking. Zakir, you know, it's time to go. I'm not feeling like they're going. What the heck? So what we will do now? I don't know. Allah knows best. Do we have any Muslim here? Any Muhammadan here? And guys, why you are laughing? Why you are laughing? What if you go sleep and wake up in the morning and you find yourself speaking like Zakir Naik? And the rain is coming all over. And the funny, in America, they are saying they have a drought. Just to bring Zakir Naik and the rain will be upon you. Non-stop. Background music, non-stop. Not what? There's no music. You are hearing voices, my friend. This guy hear music in non-stop in the background. It's in your head. You know what? I have a news for you. You just became a prophet because Muhammad hear voices too. Do we have any Muhammadan would like to call us and tell us, huh? Look, a Muslim here, a Muslim, he fix it. Look, this potato. Hey, potato, why you don't call me? As long you know, like you have an answer. Look at this, look at this. Look at this smart genius potato. Look at this. How you can answer this? Huh, he got you busted. Potato, he said, he merges the night into the day and the day into the night. This can only work with a spiral orbiting system. Hey, my friend, first of all, you don't orbit anything day, because your God now, you just confirm your God, he think that the day is an object and the night is an object. If we go in the Quran, and remember, you are the one who mentioned this, so don't cry now, you will find that your God, he said the following. Orbit, right? I want to show you what orbit means. And I want to show you, when you translate next time, learn how to lie, you know, from your prophet. Let us go here. Chapter 21, verse number 33. You see what the orbit your God is talking about? Your God, he says, it is he who created the night and the day and the sun and the moon, and they float each on orbit. This is your Muslim translation. In Arabic, by the way, it says yasbahun, which means they swim. Okay. Do the day and the night swim? Remember, you cannot say now that the day is the sun. You cannot say now that the night is the moon. Correct, guys? Are you following with me? Because now he count 4 things. All of them, they are swimming, not one. He added the sun and the moon, and now we have the night and the day. So if the sun is not the day, what is the day? Are you there, potato? You can search Google. www.mashedpotato.com. Any Muslim can answer? It's in front of you. If the day is not the sun, okay, the sun came, what was the day? You see, I'm going with you. Just to show you how this, why we laugh at this religion. If the sun come, so where is the day now? He did not say the day come is the sun. No, he said, it is he who created the night and the day and the sun and the moon. They float each in or each. Do you see the word in each? Each. I mean, this God, Allah, he cannot shut up. He have to add words to make it more horrible. By adding the word each, he confirmed he meant each one of them. Ahmed, Zareen, my friend, you are a true Muslim, and we have to hide you from the chat because your mouth is filthy like your prophet. May Allah bless your ass. Here we go. We just had your ass for speaking filthy language to ladies. Is that what you Muslim do to your sister when she go online? They start talking about her ass? What a trashy person you are. You talk to me in Christmas Day? Okay, what? And so? Do we have any Muslim can answer such a mistake? I'm waiting. Here we go. Our potato, he mentioned to us that Allah, he talk about orbits. And if you go and open Ibn Kathir, you will find that Allah is speaking about the orbits as we see, the day and the night, and all of them, they float. And obviously, this is a very, very clear scientific mistake. This is not a theory. This is a scientific mistake. Any Muhammadan? Not a single Muhammadan would like to call us? All Muhammadan in Romania are defending and rotate? Yeah, sure, you know. As we say in Arabic, إِنَّ الطُّيُورُ عَلَى أَشْكَالِهَا تَقَعُ. You know, as in English they say, birds, what? They fell into their own feather or something like that. They have their own, like, I don't know, I forgot what one of you said about feather and birds. Yeah, in Arabic we say that birds, they join their likeness, you know. They gather together. A scumbag. So whoever defend him, he is a Muslim or not, he is a scumbag. There's no human being. He have little dignity, he will defend such a... he's a pimp. I mean, how you can even defend a pimp? You must be mentally ill. All right? Do we have any Muhammadan? I mean, imagine if you walk alone in the street and your friend is a pimp and you are proud to introduce him to your family, your friends. You know, you must be mentally ill, you know. You must be a piece of trash. Whoever associate with this person is a piece of trash. Regardless if he, you know, stay in jail or not. I mean, the guy, you know, he's saying clearly how he abused women, he used them. You know, he don't hide anything. You know, this guy is so open. He think he is so powerful, and that's it. Everything is under control, which is a clear sign of his stupidity, not intelligence. You know, smart criminals. There's many kind of criminals, but the smart ones, They don't go live on air and they tell their crimes and they give details so later they will use it against you. I never heard of such a criminal like this. Bird of feather flock together. Okay, so birds of feather flock together. All right. And this is exactly what we are saying. People who associate with this man, support this man, they have the same mentality. They are pimps. Do we have any Mohammedan here? Actually, I'm very glad that this guy, he converted to Islam, because that will bring more shame to such a stupid religion. CP face reveal. Why you want to see my face? You like me? I mean, people, they are really weird. You see, CP face reveal. Why you want to see my face? Trust me, if you see it, you will vomit, and then they will take you to this, special unit, care unit, and then you will sue me, and your wife, she will thank me and will send the flower, says, thank you. I get rid of my husband. Do we have any brave Muslim? Any brave Muslim? I hope I'm not insulting when I say brave, because Muslims get offended so easy. Hey, somebody saying, I want to add you. My friend, if you are a Muslim, tell me I'm a Muslim. If not, don't tell me I want to add you. Why you want to add me? By seeing your face, he can die peacefully. I don't want to be responsible for anyone harm. I don't mean, this is how God made me, but it's not my fault. Sahih al-Bukhari, hadith number 5884. Does Muhammad treat kids kindly? My friend, Muhammad is the best one to treat kids kindly. Isn't it him who says, have sex with them? What do you want more? Prophet Muhammad, he treat kids nicely? That's deep. And what kids mean? When you say kids, what does that mean? What is the age of kids? Hey, Muslims, can somebody help us? When we say kids, what does that mean exactly? What is the age of those kids? And by the way, all child molesters, in the beginning, to get the trap of a child, to trap the child, they treat the child nicely. They give him candies, Come with me, I have toys for you. You know what I mean? For sure. Yeah. All right. And the hadith you are mentioning, this is supposedly about the son, his grandson. This isn't. What does this have to do with kids? Anyway, I have a question about 70-year orgasm. Does it put in hold every Friday? No, it's 70 years orgasm non-stop. There's no Friday or Saturday or Sunday in heaven, except when you meet Allah for a party, if you remember. Do we have any Muhammadan would like to join us live on air? Open a challenge. Open a challenge. Who is a Muhammadan would like to join us live on air? Anyone? Who is a smart Muslim? Anyone want to speak about things out of the topic, I will block you. If you are here coming for silly talk, silly chat, I will disable the chat. Don't be stupid. Do we have any Muhammadan? Sorry, CP, Bible say 1 day rest. What does that mean, Mark? What do you mean, sorry, CP? Bible say 1 day rest. I don't know. Do we have any Muhammadan would like to join us and give us any proof that Muhammad is a prophet of God? May they, may they, may they. We accept all kind of ustaz from Indonesia, from Morocco, from Egypt, from Saudi Arabia. It doesn't matter where you're from. Anyone? If you are a proud Muslim, sure from your religion, then you will not fear calling me, because you will win anyway, because your God, Allah, is with you. And if Allah is with you, and if He is true God, my friend, you always win. You will never lose. Any Muhammadan? If a woman did mut'a with more than 2 men in the same month and had a child, that a child belonged to whom? Well, according to Muslim regulation, they say you cannot have do that. But you know, those women, because they are not really married, so nobody will know. Even, you know, they slept with a man already. You know, and then who care? I mean, a woman, she is sleeping with many men. Does she even care who is the father? If she cares, she will not do that. Do we have any Muhammadan would like to join us live on air? Open it challenge. Anyone? Nobody? Not a single Muslim is proud of his religion. Mayday, mayday, mayday. You know, the Muslims, they go and they speak to an American person or people who do not know. And you know, the second they see that you do not know anything about Islam, they are heroes. They are brave. They challenge you. They harass you. The second they notice that you know all their laundry, bye-bye. We do not know you. You know, Allah knows best. You have your religion, I have mine. You have your religion, I have mine. Prophethood, the prophethood of Robin Hood. And always they put the finger up, you know. Okay, what is the prophethood of a prophethood? What does that mean? How Muhammad is a prophet? You tell me. And look how much the video is popular, to the point 24K view, even though Zakir Naik, he did it 7 years ago. Zakir Naik, I think your finger is not doing good job. After 7 years, you got 24,000 view. Prophethood of a prophethood, Muhammad Robin Hood. To non-Muslims, Zakir Naik, how to prove the prophethood of Robin Hood. But Robin Hood was a good guy. Muhammad was not. Any Muhammadan? Direct proof of a prophethood of Muhammad. Direct proof. You see, there's a right, left direction. No, this one is direct. The greatest proof of Muhammad was a prophet, Hamza Yusuf. I don't know, I'm being tempted now. Let me open it. I will not play the videos because, you know, we don't want to make them make a drama of their copyright as usual. Let me turn on the CC. I don't see subtitle. I turn on the CC, but there is no. Oh, now it's on. Okay, it's amazing. Hold on. Life with people anymore. This mean. Okay, hold on. The prophet molding soul transformation. Okay. the alchemical transformation lead to gold and secure amongst companion the Prophet Abu Dhar. What? The translation, the subtitle is messed up. Okay, become upright and he can people and more mean the Prophet. I have no idea what he's saying, to be honest with you. The text is messed up, the subtitle. Hold on. I will do this. So you will, I will hear it, but you will not hear it, so I can understand him. The greatest miracle. He said the greatest miracles of our religion is the Quran itself. But to understand this miracle, it takes a considerate time. I mean, why we need a considerate time to understand a miracle? If it's a miracle, then you will be shocked with it. You do not need time to understand it. My friend, forget about the 100,000 subscribers. Who care for those numbers? Are they really important? Most of people who subscribe on YouTube, they are fake. We care only for real people who really support, download, share. You know, from the 100,000, maybe we have 2,000, 3,000 are really true people. I say true, mean, you know, true people. The rest are just potatoes. So don't worship numbers. Any Muslim? Look what he said. He said one of the miracles of the Quran that the non-Arab, they can memorize it without knowing what it does mean. I mean, isn't this stupid? First of all, you are a person who is growing already. Do you memorize the Quran? No, you don't. Maybe you memorize one chapter because you pray every day, which is 5 verses. But if you pass the age of a childhood, nobody can do that. So this is not a miracle. You force a person to memorize it when he is a child. And now we memorize it without understanding. And the second we ask you a question, can you explain it? You have no idea how to explain it. How this is a miracle? Children, they memorize commercial. Then commercial must be from God. Go and ask any child about chocolate commercial, candy commercial, in any language. Kids in the Middle East who don't speak English, they memorize songs in English. But doesn't mean it's a miracle. So this is because they are bankrupt and they have nothing reading. Their religion is empty. They are looking for a miracle instead of saying to us, Allah did this, Muhammad did that. What they say to us, we memorize the Quran. And then we ask them, as long as you memorize the Quran, the goat, she ate the Quran. How come you don't remember many verses are gone and missing? If the goat, she ate the Quran, did the goat, she eat your memory? Did she eat your memory? We memorized the Quran. What Quran? Aisha, she said that the chapter of Al-Ahzab used to be equal to the chapter of the cow, which means, you know, hundreds of verses are missing in one chapter alone. And when we see a hadith like this, that the goat ate the Quran, and the Muslim, they keep saying to us, we memorize the Quran. First of all, the Quran is a very small book. All the Quran together is not even in the size of the index of our Bible. Just to let you know. All the Quran together is not in the size of the index of our book. It's not even a book. Do we have any Muhammadan? You saw a Muslim saying this hadith is weak in chain. Well, here it says Hassan. Hassan mean good. This is their website. You know, again, if this is a weak hadith, why it's in the book of Sunan Ibn Majah? This is authentic book. The authentic books are 6 books. In the top of that, why even they write it down there? If it's throw it in the garbage. Why Muslim they keep it if it's wrong? You see? So here you see the weakness of this cult. When they want for 1400 years, those are no problem. But today, there is people who dare to question. There's people who dare to show people how stupid it is. And now they are trying to hide it and duct tape. But for 1400 years, all the hadith we show in the screen, Muslim did not oppose. Do we have any Muhammadan? Same time when a Muslim he say that the hadith is da'if, which means what he meant, da'if is accepted, but let us say he meant that it's rejected. But that's mean Islam cannot be followed, because the Muslim they believe they have to follow the Quran and the hadith. So if the hadith, which is the speech of Muhammad or a statement from his disciple about what he did, if that is not protected, that's mean Quran is corrupted long time ago. You see how easy to prove Islam to be corrupted from their own words. The second they say that the Quran is corrupted, you know, that the hadith is corrupted, they are saying to you that the religion is corrupted. Because Islam is based on both. There is no book, there is no religion without the hadith. If you like to call me, just text me in Skype, please, and tell me I'm a Muslim, and I will call you. All right? If you are a Muslim who like to join us, and you are, we encourage especially people who they are sheikhs, leaders of mosque, scholars, if there is any exist in this earth, because I believe all of you are unable to answer questions, and you cannot even explain your religion. I believe strongly that all Muslims are just followers blindly, and nobody knows even who he is worshipping. If you ask a Muslim, who is your God, he will say Allah. Okay, I'm asking you, I'm not asking his name. Who is your God? Allah. Okay, my friend, who is Allah? Let us make it simple. Who is Allah? They don't know. They start giving you what he do. Who is Allah? What Allah mean? If you search for what Allah mean, you will find every Muslim, he give you a different answer, to the point they say that Allah is a word, the word from the Aramaic language, which means it's not a name. So even that is a false. It turned to be Allah is not a name for them. When you say that, it's mean Allah is not the name of your God. So what's the name of your God? When you read anything in this silly Quran, the yellow pages of Muhammad, you will find a clear proof that the one who made the Quran is not Allah, their God, because it does not exist. Look, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Okay, who is talking? Allah. Okay, how Allah is saying in the name of Allah? Allah, he sealed their heart. Who are you? Allah. Okay, Allah saying Allah sealed. So who are you? Allah. So why Allah say, why he don't say I seal their heart? They are deceiving Allah, you know, but they deceive themselves. Okay, what the heck? And then they have illness, and Allah, he increased their illness, but we just said that Allah is the devil. If somebody have illness, you don't increase his illness. Jesus said, I came for the sick, not for the healthy. Allah, what he do? Allah increase your illness because he is the devil. They say that the Quran has one miracle where the salt water and ocean meets sweet water, ocean, and they don't, they are divided side by side. My friend, first of all, whoever said that water, salty water and fresh water, they never mixed, he is a stupid fool. There's no such a thing in science as exists. You can do that right now. You can go and get a cup of salty water and cup of fresh water, make one, put salt in it, mix it, and get another one and mix them together, put them in one container. Let us see if they are going to mix or not. In a second, you will find that this is a false science. There's no science says that. However, the Quran not only mentioning this here, this statement is being proven to us that the Quran is stupid, because the Quran claims that Allah He divide two seas. There's one is salty and one is fresh, and they never ever met. Not they met and they don't mix. You see, the Muslims, they lie when they make these videos. The Quran says they never meet, not they meet. If we go in the Quran, if you read the verse, it says here, it's in front of you, and he who has let free the two seas, there are two seas, separated kinds of water between two brine. One is palatable and sweet, and the other one is salt and bitter. And he has set the barrier, complete partition between them. Do you see it? So why people do not know how to read? I mean, the Muslim, when they show you the verse, they are actually condemning their religion. According to the city Muhammad, salty water and fresh water they never met. And you can open any Islamic interpretation and you will see that. Open Ibn Kathir, open Al-Qurtubi, open Al-Jalalain. And the word hijr is coming from the word hajar. Hijran mahjura, which means there's a piece of land between them. Which means the God of Islam is claiming that this land, which is separating between the salty water and the fresh water, dividing between two seas, and those two seas they never met. If you don't believe me, open the interpretation. Can we agree? Amin, he is saying, I love your contact, but do we agree that all books, they speak of mythical like creatures that don't exist? My friend, they don't exist in your head. Like what, you want to say to me, the Bible say unicorn? Go, it will take you 2 seconds. You will find that unicorns exist. Secondly, when somebody speak about creatures that exist, as an example, the book of Revelation, this is not about creatures who they are look like this. This is something you will know, you will find out what it's meant. This is a metaphorical book. So it's you who don't understand, it's you who is not educated. It's not our book is the problem, it is you. When you have a lack of education and you claim to be a philosopher, people laugh at you. So I will go now to Greece and I'm going to argue with Aflaton and I will debate him about philosophy. And then I speak Arabic, he speak a Greek language, and I will talk and he talk, and I won the debate because I talk more, but none of us understand each other. And this is what some people do. They create a fiction when there is no fiction. They say, oh, this is a fiction, but did you understand what the Christians believe? When you debate somebody, debate them in their belief, not your belief. No, it's not up to you, it's not up to the Muslim to mention. The Quran is in front of you. It's not up to me to change it, it's not up to the Muslim to change it, it's not up to anyone. So who care what they say? What we care, we have the verse in the front of you. Does it say there's a complete barrier? Does it say that, or I'm making things up? And not only that, we can go right now and check the interpretation which made by Muslims. And now they will say what? The scholars of Islam did not understand what the verses is saying? What they will say? Do the biggest scholars of Islam do not understand Arabic? Right? So if you go chapter 25, verse number 53, as an example, And this is Ibn Kathir. As you see, I'm not using my own interpretation. This is their own. And we will see what Ibn Kathir is saying. Do he say that there's a piece of dry land? Or this is two waters are touching each other? I will not even need to read the whole page, but you can do that yourself. Just, search for the word land in the page. Here we go. And you will find it. The barrier mean a partition which is a dry land. Do you see it? Do you see it? So is it me who made the barrier a complete barrier which is a dry land, or this is what the Muslim believe? It says here it's a complete partition, means a barrier prevent one of them from reaching the other. Like in the other ayat, because this is appear in other ayat too, chapter 55, verse 19 and 21. And then he quote for you the ayah says, has let those two seas meeting together, between them there is a barrier. So how they meet? They meet the barrier, not they meet each other. And then what is the barrier? It is a dry land which is separating between them. Hajran mahjura. Read it. So they can lie, and we laugh how we get them busted. Mr. Pearl, you sent your daughter a link for Skype and she will call me. Why she will call me? She is a Muslim. Do we have any Muslim here? Anyone? We have Mr. Gracious saying, ask Jesus and his followers from the Bible. They obviously don't understand it. I don't know, my friend, you must be a genius. You can understand a speech of Joe Biden for sure, but you cannot understand the Bible, and not even one Christian can understand the Bible according to you. But, let me make it a simple Bible for you. The Bible of Joe Biden, you know the thing. And you will not oppose Joe Biden, and you accept it very well because it's so clear. I mean, when the thing came to the thing, and the thing spoke to the thing he said to the thing that everything is there. And from the beginning we have a thing. So, people, they say rubbish, but do they dare to call us potatoes? They are the one who understand our book. They are the one who can teach you about our Jesus. They are the one who know everything in the world. But the second you ask them, who is your dad? He says, Allah knows best. Do we have any Muhammadan? Until now, we have 0 Muhammadan trying to contact us. So as you see, the Muslims, they lie when they claim miracles in the Quran. The only miracle in the Quran is how amazing the stupidity is. I find it miracle because if I try to write a stupid book, I don't think I can beat the Quran with the stupidity. Who is a Muhammadan would like to call us and give us anything of your choice to prove that Muhammad is a prophet and Allah is God? Anything. As you see, what your God said is just stupid. This is a mistake, because the fresh water and the salty water, as we know, they are cycle of water. It's not like a fresh water never touched the salty water. That's false. Muhammad did not know that the fresh water is simply the rain which is coming to us from the sea after the water is heated, because the massive body of water we have in the earth is the sea, is the ocean, is not the river. So the foolish Muhammad, he think that Allah, he made a miracle by separating between the fresh water and the salty water, and now we have water to drink. This is what the Quran is saying. So the Muhammadan, they made something stupid sound like something very smart. But that will work only with the stupid ones. If you are stupid, anyone, any stupid speaking in front of you, he is going to be smarter than you, and then he will sound smart because you're stupid. Do we have any Muhammadan would like to join us live on air? Mayday, Mayday, Ustaz, Sheikh, long beard. We encourage those who have strong knowledge, not an average Muslim. Even though if there is not, you can call us if you're an average Muslim, but we encourage you to call your Sheikh right now and tell him, please, can you call this guy and show everybody that he is wrong? Is it true that the Quran said there is 7 flat earth? The Quran said there is 7 earth. 7 earth. And as long as the Quran saying the earth is a flat, that's mean there is 7 flat earth. All what you need to prove that, just type in the Quran the word 7. Everything is 7 in the Quran. 7 sky, 7 earth, you know. So as you see, there's, you know, 7 sky, 7 earth. But then Muhammad, he liked to add you know, some extra numbers. So he said that he created 7 skies and 7 earths, and this is in chapter 65, verse number 12. It is he who created 7 heavens, and of the earth the like thereof. And now if you ask the Muslims what 7 earth we have, simply the foolish Muhammad, he took some what the Greek they say, you know. The Greek they say that, you know, the plants, the planets, they have names for their god. They name those planets by their god, like gods, Zeus and etc. So Muhammad, he think those are earths. We took them, and now we have 7 earth. Yeah. Mr. Gracious said, your Jesus from the Bible lied. What did you expect? You're doing it now. You said I never called you. You are a liar. My friend, I don't even remember you. But if you call me before, and I don't remember you, maybe you call me. But obviously you are stupid. You just said to me, your Jesus is liar. What about you call me? Are you a Muslim? You call me now. Do you like to call me now? Gracious? Can you be gracious and call me? As long as you said you called me before, the one who called me before, he can call me now. Go ahead, text me. Don't cry and make a drama, you know. That will upset your mama. You are a hero, my friend. Everybody is running away from you. I mean, who? That's it. You are Mr. Gracious. Are you the one we see in the cartoon? The one who fly from building to building? Just text me and I will call you. Do we have any Muhammadan? Who is a Muhammadan would like to join us live on air? I'm losing my voice. Keep asking who is an Ustaz, who is a Sheikh. He believe, as we see, there's 7 earth. What 7 earth? What 7 earth? Anyone? We have 7 heaven and 7 earth. Any Muhammadan? Mayday, Mayday. Remember, if you call me and you challenge me and you defend Islam, my friend, Allah will give you a lot of reward. Right? Giovanni, Paul said Jesus become a curse for everyone. Galatians says Christ redeemed us from, etc. Curse for everyone who is hung on Paul. Okay. And I don't know if you are making an argument or you are just studying things. Do we have any Muhammadan here? Don't waste my time with text is not useful. You know, if you are a Muslim, we want to see a real debate between somebody have a real knowledge, a Muslim who have a big beard, who accept the challenge, who call, and then people will enjoy a nice friendly conversation. Either you prove that Muhammad is a prophet, or you prove that Muhammad is a false prophet. And I will tell you, you are not calling because simply you know how it's going to end. Otherwise, you will be calling non-stop. Right? Freeze Corlon, he says, Jesus, he refused to heal the daughter of that woman. My friend, you are a liar like your prophet and like your God. Provide the verses so we can laugh at you and everybody will see that why we cannot trust Muslims. Never take the Bible from a Muslim. Liars like their prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. And when you lie, you prove to us one thing, that we cannot find a decent person except such a cult. It's called Islam. Learn Muhammadan. Your lies is not helping you. They will not. We laugh at you. People, they can go and they can read, and people will laugh at you. And when you say to them, dogs, you know, like, you know, isn't it this woman she called Jesus Lord? Isn't it this woman she worshiped Jesus? Isn't it this woman Jesus he blessed her? So you are a liar. Jesus was saying to her that we, you know, you are a woman. She don't believe in the God of the Jews, and they insult each other. And the Jews, they call those who they are gomai. They are like dogs. They live like animals. And this is how you live. You know, you go do mut'ah and you call it marriage. You have sex with the children and you call it marriage. Your wife is 6 years old and you call her wife. You rent your daughter for one night stand and you call it halal. You kidnap the daughter of your neighbor because she is blonde, not because you want to convert people to Islam, just to rape. And then you call yourself a believer. So when the Jews, they speak about the Gomai, this is why in your own Quran, the Quran call you Gomai, Al-Ummiyin. In your Quran, what Al-Ummiyin mean? The illiterate. The one who live like animals. Illiterate. So when the Muhammadan, they say that Muhammad was an illiterate, that means he don't have rules. He don't follow ethic. He is illiterate. Do you see it? And when the Muslims, they try to make it about not knowing how to write, how to read, we laugh at them. Even their stupid Quran get them busted. In chapter 2, verse number 78, it says, among them illiterate folk who know not the scriptures. Do you see it? So the Muslims in the Quran are called people of zero ethic. They are unlearned about the ethic of God. They are unlearned about God. They live like Bahaim, which mean like cattles. No rules, no ethic, sleep together, rape each other, nobody knows who, and they are trying to make a religion now. And the Quran call you that, but the Christians in the Quran are called people of the scriptures. What does that mean? People of the ethic. Scriptures is not just a scripture, my friend. Scriptures is a guideline for a believer. So when the stupid Quran call us people of the book, and the Quran don't call you people of the book, yet it call you illiterate, the Quran is insulting you. Why my God is a curse? My friend, you understand things wrongly, but I will give you an example about how you understand things. This guy, he said, why God is cursed? I will show you that you are really an ignorant and idiot. I'm not insulting you, by the way. I'm just, this is the way I speak, and this is why I see you. But let me put your text on the screen. When the Bible says that Jesus become a curse, the Bible speak about Jesus will take from us the curse, which is what? Is to go to hell. We are sinners, and the wages of sin is death. So Jesus, when he died in the cross, he took that curse from us, but he is not cursed. Jesus is the blessed Lord. Because you are an ignorant donkey, you do not know that even if you read the rest of the chapter, you will see how stupid you are. But because you decide to become a blind, you are just a Giovanni, bambino, idiot. So Jesus is not the curse, because the cross said, like when they speak about the cross, that curse is the one who is hanged on a tree because he is a criminal. But if you read, you will see even the Roman, he says, I wash my hands from him. This person did nothing. So he commit no crime. So it's a curse to be hanged on the tree, which is the cross. But in the case of Jesus, he is the only person, he is innocent from the penalty reasoning. So if you are in the cross, that means you are guilty. You did something bad. You are a criminal. God knows what you did. Maybe you rape, maybe you stole, maybe you kidnap, maybe you chopped the head of some people. Jesus did none of this. This is why even the stupid Quran in chapter 19, verse 19 says, I will give you a glad tiding of the Holy Son. Even in the Quran, Jesus is the Holy Son. So when the Bible speaks about the curse, is about how and what curse mean. They are cursed to be there. He was accused of capital punishment. Stop lying. My friend, he was accused of what? Can you tell me he was accused of what? You just said he was accused by capital punishment. Stop lying. What is the accusation? I'm waiting, Giovanni Potato. I challenge you to tell us what is the accusation. I'm waiting. You see, I put your text on the screen. What was the accusation of the capital punishment? I'm waiting, Potato. Let people laugh at you. Be the man and give us the answer. What was the accusation? I'm waiting. The second you pose the answer, people will laugh at you. What happened? Why you are going mute? Why you go mute? Coward. Potato. He claimed to be God. He claimed to be God. They brought two false witnesses and sentenced him to capital punishment. You see, just, you know, and now he's going to the Old Testament. So what happened to Jesus in the Old Testament? Get out of here. We ask you, what is the accusation of Jesus, you son of Muta? You did not give me the answer. Coward. Coward. No dignity. If you go right now and read about the crucifixion of Jesus, you know, simply he said, he claimed to be the Son of God. He claimed to be God. Before Abraham I am. He said, I am Jehovah, I am your Lord. I am from above, you are from below. People worship him. And this is what the accusation. And because you could not answer, you said to me, go to the Old Testament, you brought false witnesses. What false witnesses? The Bible says there's tens of thousands of people witnessing the miracles of Jesus. False witnesses, you coward. Do we have any brave Muslim? Don't waste my time. We have no time for potatoes. I am answering without knowledge. When my friend Ali, man, why you don't call me and give me your knowledge? Why Muslims complain about knowledge when their prophet, according to them, is illiterate? I mean, isn't it funny that their Quran call us people of the book? The Muslim, they say, we have no knowledge. Do you understand, people? What the Quran call us? People of the scriptures, which means we are the only one who have knowledge of God. Muslims never been called, not even once in their silly yellow pages Quran, people of the scriptures. The second you say people of the scriptures, that's mean you have knowledge about God. This is not about a person he know how to read, how to write. People of the scriptures. And this is why the Quran divide the people into two kind. People who live like cattle, gomai, and people of the scriptures. Muhammad, he lived like a cattle. He have zero scripture. Why? Who was sacrificed, Ishmael or Isaac? My friend, according to Islam, the majority agree that the one who was sacrificed was Isaac. According to the majority of the Muslim scholars, it was Isaac. Actually, there's a debate of a Muslim. I don't know who, a few have it. It was a very good debate, and the guy, I think at the end he left Islam. He came with the same question about who is the one the Muslim sacrifice, like according to Islam, it was son of Abraham, which is Isaac, or Ishmael. The majority of Muslim scholars agree it is Isaac. Even Muslim scholars agree it was Isaac. But we want a real debater. We don't want to chat. You know, you guys, you are not doing a job. Why you don't challenge the Muslim Abdul sheikhs to call us so you guys enjoy a real battle between the devil and his opponent? Either the Muslim, they present the devil, or I present the devil. Let us see, and people will be the judge. Why the Mohammedan don't call their sheikhs, and he is welcome? Well, my friend, your daughter, there's nobody with such a name text me, so I don't see anyone. Do we have any Mohammedan? Mayday, mayday, mayday. You see, we are giving you proof from your silly, stupid Quran. We are the Christians. We are people of the book. Who are you? Your book call us people of the book, which means even your book belong to us. You don't have a book. Allahu Akbar mean Allah is great? No. Allahu Akbar mean Allah is bigger, not a great or a greater. Secondly, if you say Allah is a greater, that is even a stupid statement. Why? Because you are comparing. Don't the Muslims, they say nothing like Allah? Don't they say that? So how you compare between anything and Allah? How you can compare the creation to the creator? How you can compare the creation to the creator? You have to be from the same kind. So if Jesus, he said, my Father is greater than me. Well, Jesus is divine, the Father is divine. It makes sense. So we are comparing. And why he is greater? Because I came to you in a humble image of a man. But when the Muslim, they say that Allah Akbar mean is greater, then are you going to say that Allah is greater than potatoes? Anyone? I don't like to see any comment about Sam Shamoun or me. Respect the man. He's a great man. Don't say I know better, and you know this is not right. I consider such a statement stupid statement. A true Christian, he should appreciate what Sam Shamoun does and what everyone he does, stand for the faith. So don't come here and act like a kid. Oh, I think Christian Prince, he knew more. I think this is not right. This is like a silly chat. If you are silly, leave. We want adult here. Anyone who will say such a statement in the chat, I will block you. Never put your brother in Christ down. And Sam Shamoun is an extremely smart person. Extremely. I can say to you, he is one of his kind. And this is why many people don't understand him. Not his explanation, why he act in such a way, because he cannot handle stupidity. You know, stupidity for someone is so smart is painful. So he get upset because he look around him, he see a bunch of dummies. So don't put him down. You wish to be like him. Do we have any Muhammadan? Any brave one? Oh, Sam Shamoun is here. I thought we were talking about him in his back. You know, nobody is, you know, we are, all of us, we have our weakness, we have our gift, you know, but the one of us who have a special gift to defend the faith, you should, you know, stand behind to support, because we don't have too many of them. As you see, if you like open now, how many YouTube run by Muslims attacking Christianity? And how many Christians are standing to the tsunami of videos and fake news and fake teaching, etc.? A few. You can count them by your fingers. And then what some Christian they do, because maybe some of them they are jealous or etc., they start throwing rocks, you know. Those are not true Christians. If somebody do something wrong, correct him, no problem. But we have always to appreciate the good they do, even if there is something you don't agree with. As long as they have very good fruits, we support the good they do. Don't support the bad I do. If I have something bad, don't support it. Support the good. Do we have any Muhammadan here? Did you speak to Arab Muslim you were talking about the other day? I don't know, what are you talking about? Do we have any Muhammadan? Sam Shamoun, you know, just man, easy, easy, easy. Take it easy. Yeah, this is the weakness of our brother Sam Shamoun. You know, the people, they make him angry right away, and that is his weakness. Laugh. I mean, how many times we need to say it? Don't even respond to those people. You are higher than this, my friend. The second you respond to them, you know, you just lower yourself. Don't go that direction. Do we have any Muhammadan would like to call us? Do we have a Muhammadan would like to call us? Mayday, Mayday, Mayday. Anyone? And yeah, be careful about people. They make names similar to the name of a person. You know, we don't know. I mean, sometimes Muslim, they play games and they can use your name. You know, they clone like it. They put the same image, and they make post to make you sound bad. You know. Okay. Well, you know, Sam, I don't know if this is Sam or not. My friend, here we don't care for Catholic or Protestant, not in my page. Anyone want to talk about such a stupid thing, block him. This is a warning for everybody. In my page, I will not allow the devil to be here. No Catholic, no Protestant, no Orthodox. I don't care for those names. They mean nothing for me. This is a warning for everybody. Admins, anyone who start mentioning Catholic, Protestant, Orthodox, he is trying to divide us, to divert our attention from spanking Muhammad. We know the game. So don't even try. Not in my present. Your Satan is under my shoe. Do we have any Muhammadan? Mayday, Mayday. Anyone? Why you timed out Sam Shamoun MB? Why you did that? Where is this admin? What's wrong with people? I have to remove it from the moderator, my friend, EMB, for such a mistake. This is fake? Are you sure? Okay. Well, if he is fake, then it's possible. Let me see. But now I cannot check his account, actually. He is... Let us see. For some reason, I cannot go to his page. Is he the true Sam Shamoun? Hey, Sam, if you are in the chat, text me. Yeah, no, this is the real Sam Shamoun. He just texted me in Skype. You are mistaken. Yeah, be careful. All right, do we have any Muhammadan? Don't waste my time, guys. Don't waste my time with the stupid things. Do we have any Muhammadan here? Mayday, Mayday, Mayday. I can help Indonesian, but you have to bring the Indonesian to me. What I will do? I don't speak their language. You know, why you Christians don't challenge the Indonesian sheikhs? Challenge them, make it an embarrassment for them. Here we go, the guy is waiting for you. Why Jesus say, why do you call me good? Only Father is, only God is good. My friend, because the Bible says that actually the name of God, like, I mean, before they don't even use the word, like when you say good, you are saying God, because only God is good. So the guy, he called him good, which means he's worshiping him. So he's saying to him, why you are calling me good? You know, because only the Father, only God is good. Which means, are you calling me God? Are you worshiping me? Do you understand who I am? Hello. Yes, Sam. How are you?
I am sorry. I don't mean to disturb you. Yeah, I'm not angry. I was just having fun, people, and I don't want to disturb your time. But I come to learn. And I don't know, sometimes when I say hi and then everyone starts manifesting, they want to get me back for blocking them. Because I say to Abdul.
Yeah, it's okay. But you know, sometimes chat is you know, it's chat is a chat, is a plain text. You don't know if the person is laughing, if he's serious. You know what I mean?
That
Yeah.
wasn't it. And
Yeah.
someone accidentally timed me out. They thought I'm a
Yeah,
fake
yeah,
account.
yeah. But you know, he noticed now that I was wrong.
And by the way, brother, I am not embarrassed or proud to say, I just say it not in front of you. You're much more knowledgeable than me, and God bless you, and I love your work.
No, our
And I
friend,
pray.
all of us, we are serving the Lord, and the knowledge is, you know, if we don't have the Lord on our side, we have nothing.
Yeah, amen. And I always recommend your work because in my estimation, among the Christians, you're the best. And I say that not in front of you. You have knowledge we don't have. I'm a student. I know Arabic, so that's why I come here to listen. I want to say something, but then I said, oh, if I say something, they're going to start attacking me, and they're going to make.
We all learn from each other, you know.
That's right, brother.
We all learn from each other, and I always tell them that, you know, if you want to understand a verse in the Bible, Sam Shamu can explain it way better than me for many reasons. You know, he have a great memory, he have a great understanding, he have a great language skills, which I don't have in English too. Like you are speaking about Arabic, but on your side you are way better than me when you speak English, right? So you have many things which I don't have too. So you know, the Lord, he sent us. We are like delicious fruit in his table, and we will compete always to do better, not to be jealous. You know, I will be jealous from you to do better, not to like to you know, to like hate you. No, it's going to be great. I encourage all the Christians to learn, and so one day me and Sam will take a vacation and we will not come here no more.
I want to go to China with you.
Yeah.
By the way, one thing, brother, you said something that amazed me. You're right. Not because I think I'm smart. I'm not patient when people don't get it. It does frustrate me. That's my weakness. I know my weakness, but you hit it on the nail. You are amazing. Are you sure you're not psychiatrist, brother?
Sometime I am.
So you hit it on the nail. Like, wow, this guy know me. But brother,
no, because I suffer from the same thing too. Like sometimes you look around you, you don't find people who can understand what you are even saying. Not because you are saying things coming from the moon, but they cannot follow up with you. They cannot be serious. They talk like children's. You are so serious. You are so passionate, and that will bring frustration. And people, they have different patience. Like, you know, some people, they have extra patient. Some people, they are short of patient. So Sam Shamoun, he is short with patient when it's come to stupidity. So he cannot handle it much. I can handle it better.
But that's why, brother, I only wear shorts and t-shirt because I'm very short.
All right.
But I love you, brother. And honestly, I'm always watching you. I don't comment, but sometimes I just comment when I'm Abdul, like Galatians 3. Yeah. But it's a mistake because once people know I'm in the chat, then they all start attacking me like Chuck Kanuk. Yeah. But I love you, brother.
You know, somebody, he was here. He said Jesus was, as long as you are here with us. Yes. He said that, let me see where his comment, I don't know if I delete it. He said that Jesus did lie.
Yeah. I was hearing it. That's why I commented. I couldn't control it. I usually listen to you behind the scenes.
But how in the world Jesus lied?
Yeah, he didn't give an example. So I was wondering if he's going to give an example, because if he's going to give example, I was ready. Not that you need me, but he didn't give an example.
He went to the Old Testament and he mentioned something have nothing to do with this, and, you know, bring two witnesses. What two witnesses? Jesus need two witnesses. The Bible says, if we want to write the miracles which Jesus did, there's no books. If the whole world cannot be enough
Yeah.
to write how many miracles did Jesus in the front of multitudes of people. Not one, not 100, not 200. We are talking about thousands and tens of thousands. So if those cannot be witnesses, and Jesus, he have always with him 12 witnesses.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. If he gave a specific example, then yeah, that's easy to refute. But I didn't. All I heard him say, "Oh, so Jesus lies, so no wonder you lie." That's what I read. I didn't see the verse he gave. Do you remember the verse?
Yeah, yeah. Well, you know, I mean, people they say accusation. We challenged him with the accusation. They can't answer. I asked him why he was crucified. The answer is very simple: because he claimed to be God. That's the whole story, you know.
Yeah.
He claimed to be God, and he made it so clear and so obvious. Even there, he says, "Do you say you are?" You know, he said, "You said that." You know, you said that. You confirm it. You know.
And if you ever read to them, you read John 5 when you get a chance, 30 to 45, Jesus said he has multiple witnesses. He says John the Baptist was a witness. The Old Testament prophecies are another witness. And then he says the miracles I do are another witness. So he gave multiple witnesses. So that's a lie.
But those are not just people. You know, here we have the miracles, which is miraculous, can happen only for someone who have the power of God. And we are not talking about somebody. He told you go and eat a negla seed or 7 ajwa, you know.
Yeah. I tried it the other day. I had ajwa, but I tell you, brother, the ajwa made me stay in the bathroom all day. But too much. God bless you, CP.
All right. All right, son. Thank you. Take care. Take care. Yeah. Yeah, you remember Zakir Naik, they asked him about how come Jesus have all those miracles and Muhammad don't. He said, Brother Thithar, in the time of these that peace be upon him, science was very developed. And this is why the medical science of Jesus was amazing. Like, what was science? Jesus came, you know, 600 years before Muhammad, and medical 600 years before was better than 600 years after. And what this have to do with medical? Jesus was giving medicine. Jesus was giving aspirin. Jesus was telling them eat the negla seed. So because they are bankrupt, they cannot explain why Jesus is all of this. So they say, oh, at that time, Brother Thithar, you know the thing. Like, what the heck? But Dr. Muhammad, who have 0 miracles, he was dying from poison, you know. He was dying from poison. He could not heal himself. According to Muslims, he have a children's. They die in the front of him one after one. According to Muslims, I don't believe Muhammad have children. You know, those are not his children. Those are from the slaves, sleeping with the slaves. So the Prophet in his element, which he died, used to say, oh Aisha, oh Aisha, oh mommy, I feel pain, caused by the food I ate. You know, why, you know, where is your God? Where is, you know, call Jesus. If Muhammad, he prayed to Jesus, and Jesus decide to answer, Muhammad will be healed. You know, the Bible tells us stories about a woman, she just touched his dress. She did not even talk to Christ. She just touched his dress. She was healed. This is the Christ, my friend. Here we have a guy dying by poison. Our friend keep asking the same question. Wait, you know, don't you see I'm talking? Do Muslims kiss a black stone, but they won't let their kids play with action figures? What does that mean? I don't know what you mean. It was said in the Bible. We answered you. Why you are repeating the same thing, Lipham? You change your name, you come back with the same stupid question. The Bible says, "Cursed is the one who is hanged on the tree if he's a criminal," because a criminal is the one hanged in the tree. But Jesus commit no crime. So you are asking the same question, and you are being silly. Secondly, you idiot, you say this is why the Jews don't follow Jesus. Well, all the Jews follow Jesus. Isn't it Christianity came to us through Jews and Jews only? Who is the disciple of Jesus? They are Hindu? People are stupid. So curse the one who is on the tree. Read the rest. Those are criminals. The rapist, the thief, you know, those are the one in the cross will be hanged. But Jesus, he commit no crime, which means he is an innocent person, commit no crimes. So this is why it says he took our curse, because this is the curse for criminals, and all of us, we are criminals. What the Bible says, the wage of sin is death. The wage of sin is death. So with the Christ, Jesus said, whoever believe in me and I will live. You will die, yes, but this is your death temporarily. So the wage of sin is death, which means death, you will never have the life of the Lord ever again. You will be sent to hellfire with Muhammad, enjoying the vacation with him in the beach of hell. But with the Messiah, even you die. And Jesus, he proved that death means nothing. He said, destroy this temple, I will build it. He didn't say, I will call somebody to build it. I will build it. The rebuilding will happen by Christ. And they saw the temple. I mean, the temple is so huge, how he can build it in 3 days. 3 days? I mean, do you know how many kings they tried to build this temple, one after one? Do you know how many years it took? And now he is saying, you can destroy this temple. He was talking about his body. How Muslims, they pray at morning, but their God come down at night only. No, actually Allah, you know, the question is varied, but let us make it more different, a little bit different. You know, when Muhammad, he said that Allah, he come down every third part of the night. Every third part of the night. Let's see the hadith. We need to draw in order to make it more clear. Okay. This is the hadith. Let us show this one. Our Lord, the blessed and the exalted, descend every night to the lowest heaven when 1/3 of the later part of the night. So we can say this is close to the morning, but the problem here that the Muslim, they pray in none of those time when he is coming down. All the prayer is done. Not the Muslim, they pray 5 times, which is not even from the Quran, but none of those prayers happened when he is coming down. Second, the Muslim, they say Allah is all-knowing. How he is all-knowing, and he cannot know your prayer unless he go down every day doing a trip like a yo-yo. You know what I mean? Backward, forward, non-stop. Same time, this is a present a mistake, scientific mistake, because if Allah come every day, I'm not good in mathematics, I'm not good in what they call it in English, astronomy, you know. One of you can tell me how many third part of the night we have. Anyone can help? I don't want to give a number which is wrong, but as I know, we have many time zone, right? That which mean we have many, like in USA alone, we have many. We have like a different time zone in Hawaii, a different time zone in Guam, a different time zone in Alaska, a different time zone in you know, in USA, many places, mountain time, you know. So middle, like the third part of the night. This is just in one country. It's many time. And if Allah come down every third part of the night, then we will have Allah coming backward, forward, like a yo-yo, like an elevator, non-stop. And actually, what a truth he said here, every second is a third part of the third of the night. It's close because, you know, the earth is non-stop moving, right? It's not like, you know, stop moving and then suddenly it's jumping right away to the an hour after. No. And this will mean that Muhammad don't understand, and his God do not understand really how the earth movement happening and how we have the day and the night. So he think there is only one night and only one day. You know, do you remember the story? And actually, I would like just to help you to connect the information together. When Muhammad he say, as we see, Allah he come down in the third part of the night. But didn't Muhammad, and he go where? Do you see where it goes where? Allah he come down where? To the lowest heaven. I want you to focus on this. Anyone notice what does that mean? What does that mean when we say first heaven, lowest heaven? Lowest heaven is the lowest to him, which is the first to us. There are 7 heavens, and this is the most close one to us. That's why he is coming down, not going up, he's going down. What does that mean? Anyone can tell me? What do you think? There's something very important. Extremely important. Have to do with Jerusalem. Let us see if any of you will get the point. Have to do with Jerusalem. Okay, Allah is inside His creation. This is a good point, which is very important too. But I'm talking have to do with Jerusalem. Okay, didn't Muhammad he claim that he went in the 7th heaven to Allah during the night? The Muslim they call it the night journey, and he went to the 7th heaven. So how Muhammad he went to the 7th heaven when Allah is in the 1st heaven? Are you getting my point? So the journey of Muhammad is a fraud. Every night Allah come down, not like once a week. Are we taking a note? Muhammad is not saying once a week Allah come down. He say every night. So Muhammad he went in the night journey to the 7th heaven, but Allah is in the lowest floor. But Muhammad is going where? To the 7th heaven. So this means Muhammad never went to where Allah is, and the whole story is just a pure fabrication. And this is from his mouth. Muhammad he said every night, not every month, not every year. So I am in the 1st floor. I am Allah in the 1st floor, and Muhammad is going to meet me in the 7th floor. Do we have any Muhammadan from the 1st floor? And you see, Muslim, why we laugh at your religion? Do you understand why we find that Muhammad is a hilarious idiot? He's the idiot of the village. So he went to meet Allah in the 7th floor, but Allah in the 1st floor. And why Allah is asking, hey, hello, who's calling me? Hello? So I can hear you. Why he cannot hear from the 7th heaven? And you Muslim, you keep saying to us, Allah cannot be inside His creation, but now Allah is going inside His creation, so He's smaller than the creation. Does the Quran claim that the creation made for the sake of Muhammad? No, this is not in the Quran. This is in the Hadith. The Hadith say that Muhammad claim that Allah he said, if not you Muhammad, I would not create the earth. If not you Muhammad, and this is the hadith, and I can give you the link. لولاك, if not you Muhammad, لولاك ما خلقت الأفلاك. If not you Muhammad, I would not have created the creation. So why we have a creation? What the creation purpose was? Not for Allah. It was for the sake of Muhammad. Everything in the earth, the heaven, even the chair of Allah, the throne of Allah, the tablet of Allah, the pen of Allah, and as you see, obviously Allah himself created for the sake of Muhammad. Read carefully. The answer, indeed, the question is what? Is it true? Is it true? About the respect of this is saying that the Prophet said, if not of you Muhammad, Allah told him, I would not have created the creation. The answer is, indeed, indeed, the Prophet of Allah is the reason for a creation of Allah, of Adam and the universe. If the Prophet was not in existence, then the Arsh, which means that the throne of Allah, the Kursi, which is that chair, which is very stupid. Allah have a throne and then he have a Kursi? What does that mean? Stupid religion. Muhammad is stealing words from different language and he's adding them in Arabic. Because Kursi is a chair, a throne is a chair. So how we have a Kursi and so Allah have two chairs? And then he says, Lawh, Allah, Muslim they claim, Muhammad he claimed that Allah he wrote his Quran in a tablet, and he put that tablet between the two eyes of angel Israfil. This is why angel Israfil he have a cross eyes, because he tried to read what is inside the tablet. In order to do so, he have to zoom to the like inside his nose to the tablet so he can read, but he cannot. And that's why now by time he keep doing that every day, he got a cross eyes, like my mother-in-law, which does not exist. So even the tablet, the qalam, Allah have a pen. Have you ever heard of a God have a pen? Yeah, he have a pen. And why Allah want to write? You know, the right to give it to us, I understand. Right to give it to himself, why? The sky, the earth, the heaven, the trees, the stones, potato, tomato, frog, everything exists for the sake of Muhammad. Everything, as you see. And then the Muslims, they lie to us and they say they don't worship Muhammad. Well, Allah himself, obviously, his existence have one reason, is to make Muhammad happy. Even the chair of Allah is not for Muhammad, for the sake of Muhammad, not for Allah. As you see, even the throne of Allah. Why Allah have a throne? Because of Muhammad. Why you have a chair? Because of Muhammad. Why you have a pen? Because of Muhammad. So this God Allah, he was doing what? I mean, what he do for a living? I mean, he was so bored. He was so upset, he was so unhappy, and now finally look like Allah. He said, I need someone like Muhammad. I create him, and that will give me motivation to create everything. So he said, and not only that, he created everything before he created Muhammad, which means the plan is to create Muhammad later to make the furniture ready. So Muhammad can move in. Do you see how stupid this cult is? Until now, we have 0 Muhammadan texting us in Skype. Who is a Muhammadan? Listen, Muhammadan, if you call me, I say to you, if not Muhammad, you will not call me. Here we go. Any Muhammadan? Why Nancy Pelosi is exist? Because of Muhammad. Why Trump is exist? For the sake of Muhammad. What the heck? Why those breathing dancers are exist? For the sake of Muhammad. Why the bugs are exist? For the sake of Muhammad. Why mosquitoes are there? Because of Muhammad. What about pigs? Because of Muhammad. Even Isa, even Musa, I mean, everybody is exists for the sake of Muhammad. Read the rest of the page, you will die laughing. Do we have Muhammadan here? Any Muhammadan? Allah, he said, look at this story, just to show you how stupid this religion is. Allah Prophet said, Muhammad, by the way, is very humble. You can tell. I mean, this guy, he not worship himself. He's like Muhammad and Andrew Tate, they remind of each other. They, you know, and Trump, you know, those people, they think themselves like greatly, like they are the greatest. They keep talking about themselves. So Allah said, when Adam made the mistake, he asked, "Oh Allah, I ask you for the sake of Muhammad, forgive me." Look, what the heck? Look at this. This is Adam himself. So Allah, he was like astonished. Like, what? So Allah looked at Adam, he said, look, what you just said? How do you know? How do you recognize Muhammad when I have not yet created him? Like, Allah was shocked. Like, what? You know, if Allah have a YouTube at that time, he will make a reaction video for Adam. And imagine how many Muhammadan will watch it. Like, what? Hold on. What you just said? And Adam, like, what the heck? What I did? Oh, did I offend Allah? Oh, yeah. And the Muslim, they say Allah knows everything. And now he do not know why Adam he knew. And the conversation continue. So Adam, he said, hold on, I have a call. Christian Prince, first of all, you're a liar. What the heck? Why? How I'm lying? First of all, Adam, he made a mistake. And then Adam asked for forgiveness. Okay, that's what I read. It says here, you know, Adam, he made a mistake, and he asked Allah, I ask you for the sake of Muhammad to forgive him. Christian Prince, you are lying. It doesn't say that. It says that Adam made a mistake, so he asked Allah, I ask you for the sake of Muhammad to forgive me. Zakir, Naik, this is what exactly I said. What's wrong with you? Let me repeat again. Adam, he made a mistake. He asked Allah, oh Allah, I ask you for the sake of Muhammad to forgive me. Christian Prince, it's recorded. And you are lying. It doesn't say that. It says, Allah said, when Adam made a mistake, he said, I ask you, oh Allah, to ask the sake for the sake of Muhammad to forgive me. Zakir Naik, what's wrong with you, man? One more time, I will send you to Sam Shamoun. He will make you shish kebab and hummus. I keep repeating the same thing I'm saying. Christian Prince, you are lying. It doesn't say that. It said, let me read for you. And I want everybody to be my witness. And the brother there, the brother he was playing with the book in his nose. Please listen to us. And you be the judge between us. It said, Allah said, oh Adam, made a mistake. So he asked Allah, I ask you for the sake of Muhammad, forgive me. Okay. Okay, Zakir, hold on. I agree with you. Christian Prince, first of all, you should not agree with me. Like, what the heck? So if I don't agree, or no, I agree. Christian Prince, first of all, you cannot agree, because if you agree with me, you become a Muslim. What the heck? No, I agree about what you just said now. Christian Prince, I got you busted. You said you agree with me. So Alhamdulillah, victory to Allah, you become a Muslim. And tell everybody, please, everybody. Christian Prince, he took Shahada. What, Zakir Naik, what Shahada, man? I said, I agree with you about what you just read here. I did not agree about Muhammad. Christian Prince, first of all, the topic, all of it is about Muhammad. So you are saying to me now, you don't agree with Muhammad. I mean, you come for who? Everybody heard you, and we have it recorded. And we are going to put it in Qatar, in the FIFA. And you will be famous in the FIFA. Who's FIFA? Like, what FIFA? What are you talking? Let us continue the topic. Don't change the topic for the sake of sin of Allah. Christian Prince, first of all, never mention the sin of Allah. What the heck? What's wrong with the sin of Allah? The sin of Allah is not like the sin. Okay, my sin is not good. I agree. Allah's sin is beautiful, isn't it? It's so beautiful. Okay, but can we go back to the topic? Adam, he asked Allah for forgiveness for Muhammad, for the sake of Muhammad. And then Allah, Christian Prince, first of all, he don't speak Arabic. Let me read it for you in Arabic. Okay. Allah said, oh Adam, oh Zakir Naik, you said you read it in Arabic. This is English. Christian Prince, I say it in English and people understand in Arabic. What the heck? How you can do that? In Pakistan, we do that. We speak in English, people understand in Arabic. And Urdu. Oh, okay. No wonder. Everybody is, you know, like clapping for you. You are genius. Christian Prince, let me read for you in Arabic. Adam said, oh Allah, when you created me and blew into my spirit, I lifted my head and it's written in the earth, La ilaha illallah, Muhammad Rasulullah. Here, Zakir Naik, why it's written the name of Muhammad there? Christian Prince, are you stupid? It says there, if you continue reading, why you stop? You are taking the conversation out of context. Okay, continue reading. So I got to know that you would only join your name with the one whom you belong to you. Zakir Naik. So you Muslim, you just agreed that you Muslim, you join the name of man, his name is Muhammad, with the name of God. That will make you a mushrik. Zakir? Hello? What? Hey, Zuzu? What happened to Zuzu? Did I, like, are you taking your medicine? Zuzu is gone. Zakir and Ayuka is gone. I mean, do you see the stupidity of religion? I got to know that you would only join your name. And the Muslim, they call non-Muslim mushrikeen. But they are the mushrikeen, as you see. They join the name of their Muhammad with God, claiming that even Allah himself is the one who joined the name of Muhammad. And look, before thousands and thousands of years before Muhammad exists, Allah, he is obsessed with Muhammad. He wrote his name there. Allah, he liked to do graffiti. The graffiti God. If you look at the chair of Allah, you will find nothing but a graffiti, Muhammad name all over the place. This is what Adam, he said. And not to mention how funny it is, Adam, he is born and he speak Arabic. I mean, he just created, not born, but he speak Arabic. And he read Shahada in Arabic. Any Muhammadan? I mean, today it's a Friday, and now actually already we are in Saturday, and yet no Abdul, zero Abdul. Where is the Abdul? Where is the Abdul? What happened? Who took Abdul? Somebody turned the fan on, and Abdul is gone with the wind. With the wind. Any Muhammadan? No, it was a Friday, you know. The Muslim, they do homework on Friday. I remember once I was going to school and I took a Muslim driver, taxi, you know, and he was like, you know. So I said, oh, you are tired. He said, oh, it's yesterday. It wasn't Friday. It was Thursday. He said, yesterday I wrote the homework. I look, you know, the guy is really old. I mean, I was like in my 19, 20, going to university, and this guy is talking about homework. I said, so you go to school? He looked at me, he said, what school, man? Homework, you know, Thursday, you know. We Muslims, we have a Friday off, so we do it only once a week. Thursday, homework. I'm tired. Okay, you know. So since then I learned that the Muslims, they do their homework every Thursday. And then since then I start looking at their faces every Saturday to see what happened in the night before. You know, the guy is so tired he cannot even talk. Driving the car, he's just been hit in his head or he's drunk. And he's telling me he wrote his he was writing his homework. Any Muhammadan is you know, he's done with his homework? Anyone? Oh no, this is a true story, trust me. This is not al-Bukhari. Any Muhammadan? And the funny is, like, those Muslims, they come in the chat every day and they get spanked every day. So sad, Jesus never coming again. So are you a Muslim now or not? I thought you Muslims are waiting for Jesus and Muhammad saying he's coming back. Oh boy. All right, as long as nobody is calling and nobody is, you know, you guys, you should do better. You should invite, challenge the Muslims. If you know a sheikh or they claim to be scholars, challenge them, tell them here, you know, we are waiting for you. Be the man who can defeat this person. I can call them. They don't need to call me. Give me their Skype. I will call them. You know, I call them any country in the world. That's what Skype for. It's for free. That's why we use Skype. It doesn't cost you money. You do not need a phone. And as long as you are in the internet, well, you are in the internet. Right? Yeah. Christian Prince ليس لا يعرف سورة اكتب باللغة العربية والإنجليزية. You made me dizzy, BMB, with your Arabic. Any Mohammedan? Who is a Muslim? He want to debate me and get extra versions. Beautiful versions. Each one of them, her ass is 1 mile. I cannot believe it that Muhammad, he promised Muslim 1 mile ass. I mean, what about half mile? Okay, you know what? My wife now, she have a 1 mile ass. If her ass is 1 mile, how big her boobs? How big her, you know? I guess it's bigger than the way, I mean, this is bigger than Olympic, like a stadium swimming pool, her private part. If she's sleeping in her back, we can put water, we can swim, we can do diving, we can grow fish, you know, we can use it as a big pond of lake, you know. If the ass alone is a 1 mile, how big her private part will be? Just let me know. Just think about it, you know. And it's very smooth, which is very nice because, you know, you don't want to sleep with the women, her ass is not smooth. Once a Muslim, he called me and he mentioned something the Muslim always they say in their TV, that Allah, he spent 12,000 years, some they say 2,000 years, to soften her skin. And I said to myself, first time I heard this, I mean, this God, the Muslim, they say, if you want something to happen, they say be, and it's going to be. Why this guy is softening the skin all this time? I mean, and what this woman, she is made of, even if it's a concrete, I mean, these days we have a machines, they can make the concrete so soft like a face of a baby in 15 minutes. You know, they make the marble, so the marble is rocks, is very sharp rocks. They made it so soft. 12,000 years, 2,000 years to make a woman, her skin is soft. Why? She was Khadija? I mean, even Khadija, she will not be that rough. He's writing in the Chaldean language. All right, no problem. Thank you, BMB. I speak Turkish, my friend. Aman Rabbi Aman. Where are you, Erdogan? You know, Erdogan now is going to screw all those mujahideen who they are. He supported them from, you know, one of the funny things about Mohammedan, they betray each other. They cannot trust, Mohammedan cannot trust a Mohammedan. I will make a video about what is coming to happen. Sorry if I am blonde with the blue eyes and the clever. No, hold on. People should say that about you. You don't say I'm a clever. I mean, people should witness. You are acting like Muhammad now. Muhammad, he witnessed that he is a prophet. He witnessed to himself. You know, Fakira sent me a text message, says, the prophet, he said that he is a prophet. This is the proof. He gave me a verse in the Quran. But isn't the Quran given by Muhammad? So how that can be a proof of anything? So I make a book. I write it myself, and I witness to myself that I am myself prophet. You know? And then I tell you that me, myself, I am a illiterate. Genius. No witnesses. And then the Muslim, they start witnessing for a God they never saw, for a prophet who have all his prophecies false. Anyway, as long we don't have customers for today, and we don't have too many, we have like 1,026 people only. I think a lot of people writing homework, you know. So I guess I came in the wrong time and the wrong date maybe. It's a homework time. you know. So I better finish for today, and we hope. I don't know. Should I come tomorrow? Which is today, already tomorrow, you know. I don't know. We will see. Shall I come tomorrow, guys? You need to bring me customers. You are not encouraging me. Prophet Muhammad is our soul and our heart. Can I continue more things? Herdos? Why you don't continue? He is your soul, he is your heart, he is your foot, he is your private part. I mean, your Prophet Muhammad is everything. Who is Allah? Nothing. Muhammad is your soul. There we go. Okay, you want me to come tomorrow? All right. Well, as long you guys, you said you need to come tomorrow, you know, we are Arab, we don't believe in democracy. Thank you very much. And as long you, all of you, the majority agree, we as Arab, we have to disagree. And that because of the nature of we are, you know, like we are superior, you know. You agree, we don't. That's simple, you know. And to make it long time for you to wait for me, I will say, Inshallah, I will come tomorrow. Which means years from now, Inshallah. Like, you know, the Arab, they say, my people, Inshallah, we will free Jerusalem, like Erdogan. This was 22 years ago, you know. And now Erdogan is shaking hands with the Israeli and kissing their asses. Inshallah. You know, I heard in the news the king of Jordan making a threat. He's warning Israel. I was farting. Like, what the heck? This guy is warning Israel? Honestly, I'm not joking. Let me search for it. I think, no, I saw it in YouTube, I think. Hold on. Which is coming from the news. King of Jordan warning Israel. Here we go. Look. I mean, look at this guy, man. I mean, come on. This is the guy who can warn everybody. If Israel want conflict, we are ready. That's deep. That's deep, my friend. The guy don't even have a police. The Israeli can crush his country in 2 seconds, not in 2 minutes. If they want conflict, we are ready. You're right, you know. Potato. Yeah, like, you know, if you are an Arab and you speak Arabic and you watch their news, honestly, you will die laughing every day. Every day. In the news, in Al Jazeera TV, Qatar like attack Israel, but in their palaces they welcome the Mossad. Same as in Egypt, same as in Morocco, same as in Jordan. The most corrupt liars ever and the most weak armies in the world. 90% of their army is a big billy. They can't even run. They can't even jump in a wall. And then when they want to make a show, they choose the best they have to show you how strong our army. And then you find out that half of them, they are not even from the country. Oh boy. Merry Christmas for you, my friend Blue Sky. But you are too late. Oh, actually, the Orthodox, they have the Christmas. Yeah, the Christmas coming for the Orthodox. So Merry Christmas for Orthodox people. And by the way, I really... I like the Orthodox calendar. I think have a lot of good point to be accurate. But this is my opinion, you know, for sure. But for me, it doesn't matter, really. God is good. Muhammad never exists. Yeah, there is no proof of Muhammad's existence. No, but there is no proof. There is nothing about him, you know. But, you know, he exists or not, as long as there's people who believe in his existence, then we debate them about him. But doesn't mean we believe in him. He's just an idiot anyway. If those truth or the stories are true or not, Muhammad is a fraud. Doesn't matter. All right, guys. I think it's time to go, as long as we don't have any Muslim. Did we have any Muslim? No. 0 Muslims. look like we are out of customers. Since we have Joe Biden, the shelves in Walmart are empty. Joe Biden scared the hell of everybody. You know the thing. And as long as Joe Biden, Mr. You know the thing, is there, he can make a circle look like a square. The Pakistani nominee Erdogan for peace prize. Well, you know what? To be honest with you, all Muslims deserve the peace prize. I mean, they are very peaceful. Yeah. All of them. I mean, that's it. I think the peace, and the funny, all those prizes made by us, the Christians. You are not a Christian, Mr. Spawn Finity. Why, my friend? Why? What happened? Why Spawn? What is your religion, my friend? Spawn Finity. What is your religion? You are saying to me you are not Christian. What happened? Can you tell me, please, what is your religion? I'm waiting for you. Are you there? What is your religion, my friend? I don't know. I thought I'm a Christian, but I don't know. You're saying I'm not a Christian. Look like you know everything. There's a Muslim here. He's a Muslim. Let me. I don't know. He don't smell like a Muslim. If I move to Pakistan, I will convert to Islam. Okay. You know, especially when I see how clean the streets in Pakistan, and people are unzipping and getting their penis and they pee in the wall. For sure, I will convert to Islam. For sure. Actually, there's an article about, many articles about, in Bangladesh, they are using Arabic to stop the good, clean Muslims to piss on the walls. Let me find it for you. I mean, do you see why nobody want to go to Europe, nobody want to go to USA, nobody want to go to England. Everybody want to go to Pakistan and Bangladesh. Because this is the only country you will see the ambassador of the country stopping his car, or the minister. He stopped the car and he opened the door, he unzip, he grab his thing, you know the thing, and he start pissing. And now what they are doing, they use Arabic writing, because those Muslims, they think this is Arabic writing, it might be Quran, they cannot read it. So the Bangladesh government hopes Arabic signs will keep people from revealing themselves on the walls. So when I go to Pakistan, my friend, or Bangladesh, and I see how clean the walls there, and the smell, you open your window in the morning to drink coffee, and there's Abdul, he is unzipping his private part, and he is sprinkling his mercy upon the mankind. And you are telling me I will not convert to Islam? Are you kidding me? Arabic writing to stop you from urinating? Are you for real, Muslims? Huh? In the Middle East, there is no shame. They have no shame. You will find even children going by. A guy walking the street, he unzip, he start pissing. There's a joke about a Saudi ambassador when I don't know which ambassador. I think it was maybe I don't know. So like European ambassador, he came to Saudi Arabia, and this ambassador, when like they took him around in their country to to this ambassador in Saudi Arabia to show him the country, you know. So the guy, this ambassador, he is in the car, and the Saudi government official is with him, ambassador with him. So, or like the minister of education, you know, whatever, foreign minister. So this European minister, each time he sees somebody pissing in the wall, he says, "What is that? What is that? What is that?" So this Saudi foreign minister, he got so upset. He said to himself, "Next time I go to Europe, to his country, I will ask him to take me in his car, the same as I did to him." So this guy, he came to Europe, and the minister of, took him in the car, and they are showing him the cities, the capital. So they keep driving. They didn't see anyone is pissing. And then suddenly, he saw somebody pissing on the wall. So the Saudi foreign minister, he said to him, "Stop, stop, stop, stop. Now you tell me, who is that foreign minister?" The foreign minister of Saudi Arabia, he's so excited. So he said to him, "You tell me who is that, the one is pissing in the wall." So the European minister, he said to him, "Oh, my friend, this is your ambassador from Saudi Arabia." So he was looking for hours to find somebody pissing on the wall. They have the most disgusting, ugly habits, and because you know why? Because Muhammad, he piss in the wall. Muhammad himself, he do piss on the wall. So why the Muslim, they will not be embarrassed to do such a thing? Because Muhammad, he do pisses standing in the street. People walk by and "Assalamu alaikum, Prophet of Allah." And there's hadith about it, that you should not say salam when somebody is a man is pissing on the street. So the foreign minister of Saudi Arabia, after many hours driving in the European capital, he finally finds somebody pissing. He want to take revenge. He said, "What about this now, huh? You tell me. Who is this guy? Look at this guy. He is pissing on the wall." The other guy, he said, "Oh, this is your embassy. This is the ambassador." No, this is not true story, my friend. It's a joke. Come on. True story. Yeah. Now those, in the Gulf, they take a shower with perfume. They have a bathroom cost $200,000-300,000. That's the bathroom alone. So those, especially from the royal family, they call them royal. So life changed, big deal now. Moza, the mother of the ruler of Qatar, she spent what is enough to feed you and your kids for the coming century just for perfume. Actually, if you search how much is spent perfume in those countries, you will not believe it. It is #1 market in the world for them. They love to spend money, and they buy something, it's called oud. Anyone knows what oud? Very expensive, like those things you burn it in the burner, like, for it make a smoke. So the rich ones of them, and they show off with them, like they compete. So the gram, some of them, like 1 gram. I don't wanna give a price which is sound like scary for you, but it's true. Those things are extremely expensive, and you will find those rich ones, they have them in their cars, and each gram is like burning gold. Some of them is way more expensive than gold, So they burn them in their house, they burn them in their car, and they compete with each other. Like if you are a person who have you burn this thing in your car, and the kind you are burning, let us say it is $800 a gram. The other guy, he will try to compete with you, and he will find something more expensive. You see what the money can do now? So they spend billions of dollars. But you know, those people who, any nation, who don't appreciate the wealth they have, their wealth will destroy them. Their wealth will destroy them. And it's happening right now in America, by the way. Americans, slowly, they are destroying themselves. You know, they've been given a lot of wealth. And because they are not appreciating what they have, they are destroying themselves slowly, slowly, slowly. All nations in the world who don't appreciate the gift of God, they will end destroyed. Focus on Islam. Don't worry, we are focusing. Don't worry, be happy. David, you are not welcome here, my friend. Anyone here will insult the Catholic or Protestant or Orthodox, we block him. So they get out. You are in the wrong place. Any Christian, when I say Christian, this is the only name the Bible gave us. Any Christian, he divide between Christianity, between the Christians, he is no Christian. He is serving the devil, which is Allah. Chapter 5, verse 14 in the Quran says, Allah, he said, I will spread hatred and enmity between the Christians. So when you do that, you are serving the devil and you are no Christian. Secondly, in the Bible, there's nothing called Catholic, nothing called Protestant, nothing called Orthodox. Jesus will not save you if you belong to any of those churches, but he will save you only if you belong to him. So you can belong to any church you want, but if you don't belong to Jesus, you belong to nobody. Bishop, Pope, priest, all are sinners. Only Jesus can save you. So only foolish people, they start attacking each other because they are serving the devil. Catholic or Christians, you like it or not, I'm not a Catholic myself, but they believe in the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, and you are a certified idiot. Jesus said, whoever believe in me and die will live. It doesn't matter who. Believe in him as what? As the Messiah, the Son of God. Believe in the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. Believe in the coming of Jesus. Believe in the resurrection of Jesus. Believe in the Gospels we have. If he believes he is a Christian, it's not up to you. You are just a stupid idiot, copy-paste, following your stupid priest, who is following the devil, dividing the Christians. Never listen to those people who divide us. Never. The Muslim will be happy to see you divided. Divide and conquer. And the Bible speaks about that a kingdom divided upon itself. This is the kingdom of Satan. Don't be a kingdom of Satan, my friend. Be the kingdom of Jesus. Never let them do that to you. Only foolish people, they do that. I did not ask you if you're an ex-Catholic or not. Perverts. One more time you say that, I will block you here. I mean, people, they have a small brain. I just say, don't say that, don't say this. I was an ex-Catholic. What does that mean? People are weird. Why? Because we are just saying, you are serving the devil. You are dividing the Christian by saying such a. What does that mean? I'm an ex-Catholic. What does that mean? Do they have different Jesus, you idiot? And why you need to mention that here? Who cares if you are ex-Protestant or ex-Catholic or whatever? Stupid people. Do you see why Sam Shamoun get upset from the stupidity? People have a low IQ. We keep saying, don't let them divide us. I'm ex-Catholic. Don't come here again. And if you are a person who subscribe in Patreon, take your name from my list. And if you give me a donation, I don't want it. I don't want a donation from the devil. For this is the devil in front of you. He just said he will spread hatred and enmity. He will divide you. I am an ex-Protestant. Zakir Naik will love you for your stupidity. He will worship you actually. He wish all of us are the same like this. Do you think the Quran is good at last, a fictional book? No, because the story doesn't make sense even for fiction. You see, like sometimes I like to watch Chinese movies. Chinese movies are really funny. I mean, people flying, people, you know, the girl, she fly from a mountain to the mountain. How she can do it, I don't know, you know. But even if you want to make a fiction story, you have to come with the story in order. And if you insert a character in the story, you have to like present, make a presentation. Who is this guy? Like suddenly a person, I was talking to you and then suddenly enter the room and he start talking. But if he is an important person in the story, we have to give him a name. We have to give him a position. We have to introduce him. But if you go and read in the Quran, you will not even understand anything. The Muslim until now, they are guessing. Maybe they meant this, maybe like, who is Israel in the Quran? The Quran say Israel. Who is Israel? Why there is a Catholic and Orthodox? Because of the devil. The devil divide us. Thank you very much. This is what we are saying. Allah. We are divided because the devil divide us. Many of us are serving the devil. They think they are doing the good work of God, but in fact they are serving the devil. Division, my friend, is only from the devil. Only. Unite, you know, the unity is only from God. We are children of God. And all those names are just to divide us. And people, they love division. And many of them, they make it as a business. Like, come to me, don't go to them. This is why many don't like me, actually, because I don't like division, and I don't care who you are. I care of what you believe in. Is Jesus is your God? Is your Savior? Do you believe in the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit? You do. That's it. You are my brother in Christ. Who care about what a church name you go to? Only foolish people, they focus in the name, not in the heart. The Lord, he said, from their fruits you shall know them, not from names of churches. If you, one day you met the Lord, and you gave him 100 fruit, I'm not talking about apples now, I'm talking about the good work you did in this earth, and I gave 30, you are better than me, doesn't matter what the church name. You know, when the Lord, he speak about the parable of the virgins who they are waiting with the light, some they have oil, some do not have oil. This is what it counts. The oil is not the church name, is not the priest you listen to. He himself is a sinner. I am a sinner, you are a sinner. So if you think following a sinner will save you, well, he is a sinner. If he is good, and if I am good, and if you are good, there's no need for the Messiah to come down to save us. He came down because we are no good. So how the one who is no good is the one who will be your good line? So follow the Lord only, and don't let people confuse you. You don't have to agree with me. I don't care who agree with me. I'm a person who stands for my faith. I don't stand for people. I don't stand for a church name. I am here a warrior of a Christ, not a warrior of a church name. Anything else doesn't count for me. Mr. Prince, my home, we still have some syrup. Or you drink syrup? Don't worry about my voice. The Lord will give me strength to talk, and I will be fine. Yeah, sometime if you speak for many hours, you ask yourself, try it. Try to speak non-stop for 2 hours. Your voice will be gone for 2 weeks. Just try it. I speak for 6 hours, 7 hours, 8 hours, and after that, then people, they ask me to speak in private. You know, somebody, he don't want to talk in public. He have his, like, you know, like many ladies or guys who convert to Christianity, but they have their family, but they don't want their wife and their sister or daughter to be exposed speaking in public. They are shy. They ask me, even after speaking for many hours, to talk to them, and I do, and still I have the voice to do it, because serving the Lord is your energy. The Lord will give you the energy. It's not because you are strong, but because what you are doing is for the Lord. The Lord will provide you with the energy. Otherwise, if I'm sitting right now here talking about stupid things, I will be tired from speaking stupid, you know. Anyway, God is good, and let us follow the good God, not anyone else. Never follow me. I'm nobody. And the same I say that to you, never follow a priest. He's nobody. You can listen to someone is educated, he's a priest or a bishop, no problem. But we don't follow them. Even the disciples, we don't follow them, we follow Christ. Even Peter, which the Lord, he mentioned his name. If he exists now, I will not be following him, but I will follow the command of Christ which is given to him to do. So if you go out of the command, I will not follow him, which means follow the command of Peter's. So we follow only the Lord. You obey your Lord alone. You worship your God alone, and anyone else is just a servant. Even the Messiah himself, when he came, he washed the feet of his disciples, and when they rejected to do so, to let him wash the feet, he told them clearly, if you don't let me do it, you don't belong to me. And then he told them that in order to be a master, you have to be a servant. A servant is not someone he give you his hand to kiss it. Is not someone you are going to call him your excellency. A servant is someone is humble. The Messiah, our Lord himself, we call him by his name, Yeshua. We don't add peace be upon him and like the Muslims they do. Why? Because he is the humble image of God. He humble himself. He don't want titles. He don't feel so good for titles because they mean nothing for him. Those are titles of mankind. This is God. What title you can give him? So in the Quran, when Allah he say we, it's a stupid we. What the heck does that mean? Oh, they say to you, this is like royal. Haha. So you want to be royal by adding a word next to your name? Like, don't call me by my name, call me Mr. That is silly. So with the Messiah, you will see how humble he is. And anyone he claimed to be a servant of the Messiah, if he is not servant, he is not following Jesus. You have to be a servant before you become a master. And you are a master when you serve, not when people serve you. This is what Jesus said. All right? And you know, and this is why many people don't even like what I say, because I'm very natural. You know, they want you to be fake. They tell you what you can say, what you cannot say. Oh, you don't speak like this. You don't say this. They don't want you to be real. You know, they want you to be fake. Everybody become perfectly correct. Okay, Mohammed, he said penis. What I should say? Cucumber? Oh, you cannot say that. You know, that's not right. Why it's not right? Well, what is the problem exactly? So they want you to be fake, and they love fake people. I cannot be fake. I cannot speak fake. I speak as I am. The way I talk to you here online, I talk in public normally. Nothing different. Muhammad, he said vagina. What Aisha said to you? You know the thing? So, I mean, they learn it in school. They have no problem. Teacher teaching them, they draw it and they have no problem. He tell them how it works, they have no problem. I say it here, they get a problem. You know what I mean? I mean, you learn it in the school when you are even a kid. I mean, they draw for you how the penis look like, how the vagina look like, how sex is working. And this is when you are just a kid. You are just, you know, not even a teenage yet. And now you speak to adult, and they say to you, you cannot say that. Why you are saying this? So what I would say? Shall we create a new code for the word? What about we call it antenna? Because like it worked like an antenna, you know? Like zzz, zzz. So they want you to be fake, and I cannot be except me. Those who like to listen, they listen. They don't like to listen, take a hike. Just leave. You know? Yeah. You know, I remember once, we have somebody here from the Philippines. We have a brother in the Philippines. They were introduced me to a church to do the seminar. So the guy who took the microphone, and, you know, he watched some of my videos. So the guy obviously is terrified. So he starts saying to them, today the brother who will talk here is, he's different. Like the way he talk is different, you know, okay? Like he, you know, he like to say things like somehow like it is. And I mean, the guy, he keep talking, explain about, and the people, like they start thinking maybe, who is the heck this guy and what he will say exactly, you know? And I was worrying, maybe they will start leaving, you know, I mean, what? So I went in the stage, I grabbed the microphone from him. I said, okay, thank you for introducing me. Hello, everybody, you know? Like, yeah, I mean, people, they will start leaving because he scared the hell of them. He's not like other people. You hear them in church, so he speak in language. Sometime it might be suitable, like, what the heck? And ladies and etc., they start looking at each other like, what is going to happen now, you know? Yeah, so I took I kidnapped the microphone from him, and I pushed him down. I said, just go, you know? Okay, yeah. And then what he was scared of, that people will leave. People, they start texting each other. And the church, it's not a church actually, it's a stadium. It's like a basketball. The doors, we can't even breathe. I mean, the doors are full. All the chairs in the stage are full, and around is full. The air conditioning, we can't feel them no more because too many people. It's, you know, it's a Philippine. And then when I decided to leave because I have an airplane, they did not let me go. They said, you know, you should stay. You know, we want you to stay, continue. Supposedly I will speak for a very short time. People don't want me to go. And then we canceled the airplane. And then they let me stay for the second day. You know, there's only one airplane in this area in the Philippines. That's it. You cannot, you know, that's it, tomorrow. So he was really afraid that things will go horrible because of what they told him about how I am, you know. But people love it. People were dying from laughing. I mean, people, they left in tears, literally. Like second day, I went. We went like a market area, and wherever I go, people say hello. I don't know who are they, but I know they know me from the seminar. Like, you know, I became well known in the town. Yeah, hello, you know, and people, they came and shake hands with me. But the church, first time they invite you, they are worried. You know, they are really worried about what this guy will do in the stage. But then they notice that they are mistaken, and people love it. And then when you do one seminar in one church, then you're like, they will start inviting you. Especially some of them, what they do, they invite some, you know, Christian ministers from other churches to watch. Before you finish, you will start receiving cards with invitation to do seminar in their church. And this is always, you know, what happened when I do a seminar. You know? I told you many times, I have a friend in the Philippines. You know, he's an actor. He's a very, very nice person, actually. When I was in the Philippines with him, you know, he wanted to take a picture with me. I mean, the church. I said, sorry, I don't, you know, I don't take pictures. But the funny is, I mean, I don't want to take pictures with people. And the one is asking me for a picture. He himself is a famous actor. I don't know he's an actor. You know, I have no idea. And then I noticed that it wasn't nice to tell the guy who is a famous actor not to take a picture when everybody is coming to take a picture with him. It was fun. All right. I just watched another video by Ahmed, ex-Muslim. He's still doing great work. All right. I don't know who is this guy, but sound good. I think maybe I saw a video of him, something like that. Yeah. Actually, like, you know, there's many funny stories when you meet people first time. So they asked me to meet in a coffee shop in the Philippines. And then they were sitting, and I entered the coffee shop, and there was a long table. And I came to them, you know, they told me, we are like, I spoke to them on the phone, what are you wearing, etc. I don't know them. So they told me how they look like, what they are wearing. So I went to the coffee shop, and I saw a long table of people, many people sitting at the table. So I came, I said hello. And then the other minister, he took this this person who is now a friend, and he said to him, is that the same Christian prince? He said, how you know it's him? He said, I never saw him before, but this is his voice. I can confirm that. I said, what about it's not his voice? You know, I mean, close voice. He said, no, no, no. Trust me, his voice, nobody have it. Nobody have the same voice, so. Yeah, are you sure this is him? Yeah. Did you see John Gahan has a Yemeni ex-Muslim? No, I didn't see. But, you know, if you know ex-Muslims, you know, convert, they are doing a good job, support them. Support them, you know. Don't hesitate to support people who need your support. Mubahai, Mubahai. Yeah. Yeah, in the Philippines, you learn a lot of things, you know, like once I have a few days before the seminar, so I went, you know, in the Philippines, when the Easter come, they close everything. Everything shut down. So I said to myself, let me take, as long as they cannot do a seminar. It was my wrong calculation, actually. So I went to a beach in area, I forgot the name. Anyway, and there was a guy behind me in the beach. Suddenly, I was really early morning, so because the beach is empty, very early morning, drinking my coffee. And then a Filipino guy, he have a bicycle stand behind me, and he start saying, balut, balut. And I did not look. I mean, this guy, he keeps screaming balut, you know. But I'm the only one in the beach. And then he keeps saying balut, balut. So I look at him, I said, buddy, if Mr. Balut is here, he would answer a long time ago. What? Why you keep screaming like that? He's just behind me, you know, just behind me right away. I mean, this guy is stuck behind me. The whole beach is empty. I said, if Balut is here, he will not. He will answer you. He said, what Balut, sir? I sell Balut. I said, what? What do you say? Balut. And I thought maybe the guy is at the hotel. He is calling him. His name is Balut, you know. And what the heck? You know, Balut. He's stuck behind me. We're not going. I said, okay, so you left all. Okay, I heard you. And you said first time, second time Balut, third time Balut. And you are saying, so obviously I'm not, I don't like. He said, sir, you will like it, sir. Eat Balut, sir. You will love it, sir. I said, what the? I said, listen, man, I don't want to eat. I don't eat in the morning. I said, you can buy it now, sir. You eat it later, sir. Balut. Yeah. Yeah, Filipino people are very, very, very nice, very friendly. Anyway, yeah, somebody's saying, I think the actor is Mary Kiyamo. Yes, he is Mary Kiyamo. Very nice person. And actually, he invited me to many churches, and I did many seminars in those churches too. But he is not the only one. There's many other people too. Balut. I'm using your teaching against your Abdul in Africa. Well, this is the whole point. We are sharing with you what we need to share so you can learn how to refute them. You know? This is the whole point of what we do here. Yeah. If you are not going to learn, there's no point of me, you know, being here. So we want you to be, especially the young ones, to be the new generation who stand for the faith, and they will become a warrior. We don't want to, you know, Christians by name. We want, you know, real Christians who stand for the truth and be apostle for the Lord, bring and save people. Do you do seminars in Michigan? No, you see, I am not doing seminars as before because it's costly, travel, and you know, if you want, I can do a seminar without going. There we go. Invite me to your church, I can do it online. I do not need to go. All right? We go here, like, you know, here we go. We have 1,000 people here without preparing for anything. A seminar, they have to reserve the hall, invite people, do advertising, get permission, talking to this guy and that guy, flying, you know, and then you had the vaccine. And like now, the cost for an airline ticket to go to South Asia is like $2,500. You know, it's very expensive. Like before it was like $700. That's it. Yeah, not a big deal. It's like flying inside USA. But now it became really expensive. And I think this year is very expensive for a very simple reason, because after 2 years of lockdown, suddenly everybody is buying tickets. You know, people, they were jailed for long inside their houses. And that's what make the airline go crazy as a price. But I think next year is going to be way cheaper, you know. Next year, the price of ticket, I expect it to be, you know, way different, because, you know, people who they were desperate to go, they are gone already. Jesus come with a sword? Yeah, Jesus came with a sword. Jesus came with a sword of love first time. And then the sword, a real sword, will come with Jesus, but not sword like sword to fight, but Jesus will come in the second time with the glory of his angels, and he will punish every pervert in this earth. He will send him to hell. So the coming back of Jesus will be a different story. First time Jesus, he came, as he said, I came for the sick, not for the healthy. Second time, he will come to save the healthy, and he will destroy the sick. Second time is not going to be to save the bad ones, but to judge them. So the Lord, he give you time for now to repent, but when his coming is, you know, the date is there, then that's it. It's over. Well, I don't know about the COVID thing. You know, for me, nothing happened really. I did not even catch a flu. But I hear news. I hope it's not real. I hope nothing. Nobody will. We will see. But anyway, if any of you want to invite me to a seminar, I will be willing to do it. Actually, I refuse to be invited to any channel. But because I know Indonesian, they are a special case, I was invited to teach in TikTok, but I will not be in TikTok. I will be using Skype. So I will be doing that next week for a group of Christians from Indonesia. All right. But for sure, I don't speak the Indonesian language. I will have a translator. All right. I tried Discord first. I don't like it because it sounds like somebody entered the bathroom and there's like 200 people in the same time talking. So I did not like it. I would love to know if you are ever in Algeria. I don't think that will be a good invitation, my friend. It's a Muslim country. I don't think it's going to be safe for me to be there. My friend, I teach for everybody. Like, do I ask you where are you from when you come here? No. You know, I have limited languages I speak. So either I can go in Arabic or I can go in English. And then if you want to do, if you are like from Somalia, well, you can, if they don't understand what I'm saying, you can translate. Go, download my videos, use subtitle. Call a Muslim sheikh from Somalia, let him debate me, challenge him. You need to help, my friend. You need to help. I cannot speak all languages. I cannot translate all, you know. I finish, here we go, get tired after many hours of talking. And then people, they ask me to add subtitle, and I cannot do that. After sitting for many hours talking, what subtitle? Especially I don't even speak your language. Don't worry about the word sword, Anna. Sword is usually a word used for either killing or to defense. But when the Lord he speak about the word sword, he speak about penalty and justice. So when the Lord he come second time with the glory of his angels, he will say, bring them in front of me and slay them. The slay here, you will wish actually to be slayed. The slay here is about sending you to hell. And trust me, to be slayed is way better than going to hell. You wish to die. You have read my book for the first time? Okay, read it again and then you will leave Islam. You know, when the Messiah come in the second time, he will not be the same as he came first time. You know, like he will be merciful for everybody. He will be forgiving for everyone. No, that's that's it. The time is up. The playground is going to be closed. So you know, we've been given all the time to play, if we can say. We are sinners, you know, we don't want to repent. That's it. So when he's coming the second time, those who do not believe in him and they do not repent, they will be punished severely, and hell is waiting. Hell is waiting. Like, you know, atheists, they speak against Jesus because, oh, is that fair to send us to hell? Yeah, it's fair. He asks you not to believe. Why you believe? He asks you to come to him, you refuse. You bought 2 of my books, CP and Deception of Allah. Okay. All right, my friend. Actually, I don't know. I think you are a Korean. The one is saying. I hope soon I will be able to publish my book, Deception of Allah, in Korean language. We hope so. So we will see. And I wish actually, if there is anyone who speaks Japanese, please contact me because we need somebody to translate to Japanese. شنو رايك بجنود الرب? Well, they sound like a good people. You know, people, they try to go against you when you are decent, but when you are a loser, go to nightclubs, drinking, you know, sleeping around, you are fine for them. The second you became serious Christian, people get upset from you and they, you know, try to scare people of you. Oh, those are the soldiers of the Lord. No, they are good people. I don't see anything wrong with them. You know, we need people like this. We need this is what we are saying. We need serious Christians. We do not need the lousy ones. The Lord, he says, either cold or hot, or so I can swallow you. Like warm is yuck. You can't be warm and you are a Christian. You have to be either cold or hot. All of you, when you want to drink, you don't drink warm water. It's yuck. So when those Christians, they get to be serious, I will support them as long they are just following the Bible. And even if they defend their houses, their towns, what's wrong with that? A true Christian is the one who defends his home, the one who defends his land, the one who defends his family, the one who defends his honor. A Christian and coward, it doesn't work together. It doesn't. All right? A true Christian is a warrior. A true Christian is willing to die for the sake of his beloved one. The same as Jesus, he is willing, and he did die to save us. A true Christian is not the one who say, I'm a Christian. A true Christian is the one who stand for what is right. Like some people, they say, you are a Christian, you should not join the army. Why? Why I will not join the army? Isn't it this is my country? I defend my country. I'm a soldier. I joined the army. I carry a weapon. Nothing wrong with that. It's not guns who kill, it is criminals who kill. Guns can be used for defend the weak one, and they can be used by criminals. So you choose what you want. You want to be the good ones, or you want to be the criminal? Very simple. And me myself, I don't like to see a Christian man. He is weak. You need to be strong in faith, strong as a man, willing to do what it takes to defend your family. You are the man. Just be the man. The man is not a person who have a private part. A man who act as a man, he live as a man, and he die as a man. Not someone look like a man with muscles. Having big muscles doesn't make you a man. Trust me. That is far away from manhood. But living as a man, dying as a man, and practicing what man should do. So if you are a man and you see a weak person, you support. If you are a man and you see an old person, you help. If you are a man, you defend your family, you protect your wife. You don't beat your wife. A real man, he don't beat his wife. Usually those who beat their women, they are weak outside and they try to act as men indoor, because outside they are potatoes. Outside maybe everybody beat them. So what they do, they come home and they look for the weak one to beat him. A real man, he act like a man. You don't go over somebody is weaker than you and you practice your strength. I will never do that. CP, you are a coward? Well, my friend, as long as I'm a coward, why you don't call me and scare me? GDI. I don't know. I mean, the one who don't dare to call me, he is calling me coward. Can you explain to me why Jesus called? He says, why I am good? Well, we explained that already. Jesus said to him, why you call me good when, but because he is saying to him, why you are calling me God? In the Old Testament and before, even, in other nations, when you say you are good, like when you say the word good was used for God. The word good used for God, because only God is good. So Jesus saying to the person who is obviously worshiping him, those are people, they knew the Bible very well. So when they say a statement, they say you are good, they are saying you are God. So Jesus is not denying that he is good. This is why he said, I am the good shepherd. I know my sheep and my sheep, they know me. So Jesus, he repeatedly mentioned many times that he is the good God. But Jesus was asking him, how you know I am God? How you know I am the good God? He's not denying that. If you want to understand the Bible, you read the Bible. You don't read a verse only. You don't read a statement only. Some people, because they are just coming to question and play games, they cut a sentence and they don't read the rest. So don't be like them. Always, when you have a question, I advise you to read the whole chapter and do read more to see what Jesus said about him, what he said about himself. There's tons of places Jesus he mentioned who is he, and ask yourself, if Jesus don't claim to be God, so why he was killed? What for? Why they crucified him? What happened? What happened exactly? When somebody come to me with a question, me myself, I'm a person who used to ask a lot of questions. That's why I learn. You are not born knowing everything, right? Nobody of us is born and he'll know everything. You are not. So you ask questions, but there's a question you ask them to question, and there's a question you ask them to learn, which means there's a question you might answer now, and you come tomorrow and you ask the same question because you are just being annoying. You think you are smart, you get something against me, maybe, but if we read, tons of verses in the Bible, we'll see that Jesus, he confirmed always that he is the good Lord, and his disciples, they worship him. All right, do we have any Muslim would like to, And remember, even Jesus, each time we speak about himself, and even like if you go to, as an example, Luke, from the first chapter, what Luke, says that he shall be born, and of thee shall be called the Son of God. So how the Son of God? He is Son of God, but he is not good. The Son of God is somebody have the quality of God. If I'm bad, you call me son of the devil, right? So when the whole Bible and the whole everything, even when the angels speaking, they say he will be called, shall be called the Son of God. How you can get such a title unless you are truly the Son of God and you are holy? So it's not just words. Jesus can be, let us say there's somebody, he came and he claimed to be Jesus. He called himself Jesus. He called himself Yeshua. He called himself the Messiah. But that will not make him the Messiah. The Messiah is somebody does what the Messiah does. And this is what exactly happened in the case of our Messiah. There's many false Messiah. But when the Messiah came, he did what the Messiah does. He is the Lord of miracles. He himself is a miracle. He is the Lord of wisdom. He is the Lord of love, the Lord of forgiveness, mercy. Go and your sin is forgiven. And he did miracles nobody can count, and nobody can reject, and nobody can question. So when somebody speak of the Messiah and he try to find, let us say, let me see if I can find a hole in the wall, so I can penetrate Christianity and say, oh, Jesus, maybe he is saying he is not God, But my friend, the Bible is a book. It's not a phrase. If we read here in John 21, it says, and remember, John is a witness, is not a person speaking about somebody. And there are also many other things which Jesus did, that which if they should be written, everyone, I suppose that not even the word itself could not contain the books that should be written. I mean to that. So if we want to write the miracles of Jesus, we will not have time and enough books to write. This is how it's amazing what he did. And you need to think about it carefully, because is it really in the Bible written every miracle he did? I don't think so. Actually, the verse here confirmed that. The disciple, they mentioned to us important things happened. This is why those things are mentioned. But if they want to write everything Jesus did, there's no book can contain them. So Jesus, he is the Messiah, not because he said I'm the Messiah. I can say I'm the Messiah. You can say that. I can say my mother was a virgin. There's no way to disapprove it. But the Messiah is the person who does what the Messiah does. He is a resurrector, and he resurrects people. He's a healer, and he heals people. He's a the forgiving God, and he forgives people. He have control over nature, and he controls nature. He have control over death and life. He's a creator. He gave the eyes and new eyes for the blind man. Simply, he is God. So it's not because I say I'm God, it's because I do what God do. Otherwise, talk is cheap. Anyone can call himself God. Anyone can call himself. And you will notice that even the Muslims, they could not deny that he is the Messiah. The second you ask them what the Messiah means, they have no idea. Because Muhammad is a thief. He do not know even what Messiah means. Islam is a misinterpretation, a mistranslation, a misunderstanding of Christianity. Everything about it is a mess. Everything in this cult is a mess. You cannot even find one thing in the Quran is accurate. Even names are quoted wrong. As an example, the Quran says that Mary, the mother of Jesus, she is the daughter of Umran. Muhammad, he mixed things up. He heard that Aaron, he have a sister, her name is Maryam. So the idiot Muhammad, he thought that Maryam, the sister of Aaron, is the same Maryam, the mother of Jesus. So this is why we as an Arab Christians, when we read the Quran, we don't find anything to embarrass us or to let's say, to amaze us, except we laugh. It's a stupid, it's literally a stupid book. But because you are short of knowledge, and they provide you with fake, false translations, and they give you false even interpretation, they can fool you. But they cannot do that with us. Did you ask yourself how the Muslim, they can go somewhere else around the world and they make a person who is, from different country, he don't speak Arabic, convert, but they cannot convert the Arab Christians in the Middle East? Did you ask yourself why? Because we understand and we have the knowledge. They cannot fool us. When Umar ibn al-Khattab, he occupied Jerusalem, he made something called the Pact of Umar, which is to grant the immunity of the Christians, to insult them, to torture them, to enslave them. And he put a condition that Christians should not teach their children Islam. Christians should not teach their children anything about Islam. Do you know why? Because he don't want your children to be able to defend their faith and to know the weakness and the stupidity of Islam. They want them to stay ignorant. You know what I'm saying? He made a condition. Imagine, he should be the opposite. He should say, I should allow your children to learn about Islam. No, he forbid them totally to teach their children about it, and the punishment is death if you do so. So when a Christian child, or he grow, he debate a Muslim. The Muslim, he knows a lot about Christianity supposedly, and the Christian, he have no idea what Islam is about. He learned nothing. This is why we are here, so we can teach you what the Muslim don't want you to know. And this is why you will see any one of you now, after being here for a while, you can debunk a Muslim in 2 minutes. I mean, you have a lot of information. Please, the ones who they are in the chat with us, focus on our topic, otherwise I will block you. We are not talking now about heaven and who is going to go to heaven. We have a topic here. If you don't like it, don't stay with us. Do we have any Muhammadan? This is why it's very important to teach your children and not to keep what you learned yourself, because your children, they go to school, they meet with Muslims, and now we have more and more immigrants coming to different countries, and and that's why actually now why I'm here, in this time. It's very late for me. Anyone ask himself why? Honestly, why I'm here now? This is not a good time for me. This is not a good time for me at all. This is the time you relax, you lay down. It's not good to sit in front of a computer and your eyes hurt in the middle of the night. But now I know that this is the time where people from South Asia, they can hear me. And I know how much they need what we do. Otherwise, this is not a good time for me. And that's why I switch. But most of the time I'm doing it right now, like at night my time, which will be morning in your time. But this is not a suitable time for me. It's very tiring when you stay for 3 hours at after 10 o'clock at night in my time. It's like staying for 6 hours in daytime. It's very tiring. But we know, that now there is people who they are in Asia, they are or in the Middle East, or in India, or in the Philippines. They can get the benefit of this time. Now, for sure, people, they can listen later after we finish, but will be more fun and more nice if I can answer their questions directly and take care of them, not just later they hear me. So I try to divide my time and come in different time during the day, so everybody can get the benefit. And I care very much for Christians in Asia. I believe they need our work badly, and we are short of people who they can help, and that's why I give more time for them. When I was a kid, some Muslims were saying that I have 3 gods. Yeah, this is what they say. I know. This is what they say until now. Like we finished the chat, the video, you will see a Muslim saying, "Oh, Christian, you have 3 gods." But now all of you know how to get them busted. Right? Lord is Rabb in Arabic. Rabb is not an Arabic word. Rabb is an Aramaic word. This is why, like in Hebrew, they use the word rabbi. Rabb, rabbi, rabbi, and you'll find that in Arabic too. Arabic is not a language by itself, actually. Many people think that Arabic is a language by itself. It's not. Arabic is a transformed language, mixed with many languages, but most of it is coming from the Arabic. This is why we laugh when the Quran says that this is a book made in Arabic, pure Arabic. It's a pure Arabic, but it's not Arabic. Even the word Quran, I don't know what's wrong with this website, it's not working. Even the word Quran is not an Arabic word. The word Quran is coming from the word qarra wara'a, which means qura'u, which is you move your lips, you talk of what you see, which means reading. So your eyes ra'a, your eyes see, your lips move. This is what the word mean. So when Muhammad and the Muslim they quote Quran, there's no such a thing in the language. It's called, like, you know, anyone who speak Arabic, you don't say you say like akala yakulu aklan. You don't say aklanan. You know, like, I mean, those who speak the language, they knew what I'm saying. So in Arabic, this is wrong. You cannot say Quran, but that can be accepted if it is in the other languages, you know, where it's coming from. This is why you will see that when Waraqa ibn Nawfal he died, Muhammad he stopped receiving Quran, and Waraqa was translating the gospel into Arabic. That is the Quran, the fake gospel. And this is how Islam started. Muhammad is a pagan, Allah is a pagan God, and Waraqa he started preparing Muhammad to announce himself as a prophet, and they mix between the religion of the Arab, worshipping the God of the Arab, the pagan God, Allah, and then he added some from the Christians, some from the Jews, by the support of Waraqa ibn Nawfal. This is why you see it says here that Waraqa ibn Nawfal he was translating the gospel into Arabic. But what gospel in Arabic? We do not know a gospel in Arabic at that time, you know. Christians, Waraqa ibn Nawfal in the pre-Islamic area, he became a Christian. In fact, he did not become a Christian. He became Nasara. Nasara are not Christians. Maybe some other time we can talk about this. And he used to write the gospel in Arabic. Do you see it? Do you see it, people? This is a Sahih, authentic hadith. He's writing what? He's writing a book in Arabic. The Muslim, they are calling it gospel. And in the hadith, they are using the word Injil, which means this person is translating from the Greek book of John. And here we understand where Muhammad he come with the word Injil ever. Did you hear that day he was marking his girls with tattoo like a cattle? No, I mean, you know, we will see what will happen. This guy, he might get out with his money. I mean, he have a lot of money. The world is corrupt, my friend. Or you have evidence of identification of Waraqa where he said he is the father of Muhammad? No, I did not say he said I am the father of Muhammad. I said I believe he is the father of Muhammad. Because anything happening in the life of Muhammad is Waraqa. Muhammad, he got lost, Waraqa, he found him. Muhammad, he became prophet, Waraqa. Anything, you know. And then the Waraqa sister, according to the Muslim books, if you read my book, Sex on Allah, you will find that Waraqa sister, she offered 100 camel to the father of Muhammad, so he will not go sleep with the mother of Muhammad. And that doesn't make sense, you know. I mean, for sure, I believe that number is exaggerating, that the woman, she offering a man 100 camel. That number at that time, 100 camel is like you have to be a king to have 100 camel. This is really a lot of money. Actually, until now, it's a lot of money. But look like Waraqa, he sent his sister offering herself to the father of Muhammad, so he will leave the mother of Muhammad, which is already sleeping with Waraqa. This is my conclusion, you know, this is my observation, not something you read in books of others. This is my writing, my books. You know, always I try to connect the dots between things. Like you will see here, as an example, Waraqa, he died. Muhammad, he tried to commit suicide. But this is telling you, the Muslim, they say, this is their writing, but after a few days, Waraqa died, and the divine inspiration was also paused for a while, and the Prophet becomes so sad. So here you notice that even the divine inspiration, which is supposedly the Quran, is not coming to Muhammad because Waraqa died. I mean, what do you, how much proof more you want? If Waraqa is nobody, I mean, he's just a guy in town. He's not even the father of Muhammad. He's not even the uncle of Muhammad. He's not even the cousin of Muhammad. So why, when he died, the Quran stopped coming? Why Allah went sad? Allah went to the funeral and he was crying? You know what I mean? What happened exactly? What happened in heaven? So, and Muhammad, he want to commit suicide. So this is the hope he have, his father. His father was the one is teaching him, and he is not ready yet. This is why it says here, he becomes so sad, and he intended several times to do suicide by throwing himself from the top of the high mountain. Yeah, for sure, 100 camel is so much, you know. Until now, not even a single woman, she offered me 1 camel to marry me. Not 100 camel. And the story says that the father of Muhammad, he went, he said, okay, I will be back to you. He went to the mother of Muhammad and he did boom, boom to her. And when he came, he accepted the offer, like, you know, because she offered him the camels, she don't want him no more. So obviously it was like just to persuade him from sleeping with that woman, but it did not work, you know. And all of us, actually, we have many references too, that Muhammad was born 4 years after his father's death, which is, I mean, hilarious, you know. I mean, how he is his father and he died 4 years, and after 4 years he is born again, you know, he's born. Waraqa from Bani Quraysh. This is all of them, they are Quraysh. This is Quraysh tribe. All the people of Mecca, they are Quraysh. You know, Mecca is a small town. You see, if you look at Mecca pictures, not long time ago, you will laugh. Before the oil come, I mean, Mecca is a small town. There's nobody live there. If you look at the Kaaba, how it looked like just 100 years ago, not 500 years ago, you will die laughing. A bathroom look better than it. They used to tie the camels around it, you know, like a stable. Look, this is an old picture for the Kaaba. Let me show you. Give me a second. Look at this. This is the Kaaba. Small house, few houses. The ground is dirt, and there was columns, you know, weird columns. They used to tie the camels with them, and very small building, and everything is dirt. It's just dirt. And you know, when people they come, look at this. They come with their camels. The floor is there's no, and this is not after. This is after actually. You know, otherwise the Kaaba was really, there's nothing. But then the oil came, and look at this picture as an example. They put a fence like the one you put around your goats. Do you see this fence? It look ugly, look, you know, but then the money, the oil came, and then marble, air conditioning, marble floors, white floors, thousands of people cleaning around it, you know, money, my friend. The oil money changed everything. Otherwise, Islam was dead. The Islam you see today is because of the oil. The oil resurrected Islam again. Look at this picture as an example. This is after the Kaaba. It's not old. This is not very old. Look at this. It still look horrible. If you compare to any church in the Middle East at the time of Muhammad, you will see how majestic they are. The Kaaba is just a small room. Actually, it used to have no roof, and people from other tribes, they used to come and throw garbage in it to show people that there's no God here, come to our Kaaba. There's a guy, he's a Muslim, his name is Jawad Ali. He made a book which is backed with reference that there was 26 Kaaba in the Arabian Peninsula, and this is one of them. 26 Kaaba, and they are in competing they compete with each other. It's a business. The Kaaba is like a mall, you know. It's not really like a place where they worship, yeah, but it was a competing business. Like you open a mall, I open a mall in my town, let us see which one is better. So what the other town they do, they come at night and they throw garbage in the top of the roof. There's no roof, you know. And then people, they will see that, okay, why the gods don't protect the Kaaba? Why the God allow people to throw garbage? So just to show them that this is not really a house of God. Look, we can throw garbage and nothing happen. And this is why they put the roof. This is why they built the roof in the top of it. There was no roof. And the Kaaba been destroyed by rain, earthquake, tons of times. Not to forget to mention by war, like Al-Qurmuti, he destroyed it, he took the black stone. And even by flood. You know, the Muslims, they say that the Kaaba was a chosen location by Allah. And this is the clear proof in front of you that if Allah is the one who chose the location, shouldn't he choose a location where it is like just 10 meters higher, where the flood will not cover it by poo-poo water? It's in front of you. This is pictures of the Kaaba, and the flood never stopped. This is not long time ago, you know. This is now the Kaaba, the Saudi, they get starting getting the money from the oil, and things is getting better and better, but still the flood is all over. And you know, because Mecca does not have a sewage like most of cities in the world. Like if you go, I never been in Indonesia, but I'm assuming because they have too much water, having a sewage is no problem. I mean, it's costly, but it's maybe one-time deal. But because they don't have enough water running to make a sewage function, what they have something called bayara. Bayara is a shithole. It's like septic tank, but it's just simply, I mean, septic tank is something like nice compared to what I told you. It's just a hole in the ground, and they cover it with something. But when the rain come and the flood come, all the poo-poo will be flat and will go to the down point of Mecca, which is the Kaaba, as you see. All the poo-poo. So how this is the house of God, and Allah, he chose the location, and then the location is the worst. What if you buy a house, imagine, house, just a house, your house, not a house of God, and then you choose the worst location of the city to be where your house is built, and then every little rain, all the poo-poo in the town, they come to your house. Remember, this is the house of God, chosen. Muslim, they say, the one who chosen the location is Allah himself. It's not even anyone. It's Allah who chosen the location. And this is additional proof, the nature proof to us that again, that this is all is a fraud, is fake. All right? And not only the location is bad, what if Allah, if is God, can't he make the ground go up? Just think about it. If I am God, and now all my house is going to be flood, I can make a command and the ground will go up. Isn't he God? Isn't it the Muslim says Allah, he placed the mountains in the top of the earth? Can't he place tons of some dirt under the Kaaba? So everything proves Islam to be fraud, you know. Yeah, actually, I will make a video about Al-Aqsa soon, because I see some Muslims trying to make their drama again. We will see. Maybe tomorrow, the day after, we will see. I will make a video about it. All right, guys. I thought I'm leaving 2 hours ago. Yeah, I thought life is over 2 hours ago. Well, because you hate me, what I can do? I mean, you never stop asking me a question. I'm going to go. Poor me. I want to go, honestly. My back is hurting. My throat is hurting. And you are saying, supposed you are leaving 2 hours ago. Now, it's my fault, right? It's my fault. You blame me. Like, yeah, you know, you said you are going 2 hours ago. You don't let me go. Your questions never stop. I should not look. Okay, maybe I should not look at the chat. This is the only way to make it happen. I'm looking in different direction now. Christian Prince. First of all, I get you busted. You are not looking in different direction. Zakir, Naik, don't tell them, man. They don't know what they are seeing. There is no camera. Why you are telling them? Christian Prince. First of all, Christian always lie. And now I get you busted. And I'm going to tell everybody that you are not looking at the direction. Okay, well, hold on. What do you mean direction? You are Zakir Naik, you know, and you do not know what direction. Okay, what is the direction of the Kaaba? Hello? Zakir? Hello? Christian Prince. Sorry, I was searching Google. The direction of the Kaaba, you said the Qibla. Okay, Zakir Naik, hold on. Isn't it the Indonesian? They were praying for 1,000 years to the wrong direction. Christian Prince, this is fake news and you get it from the CNN. No, what you are talking about CNN? What CNN? Christian Prince, I can find you news in CNN. Okay, so what if the CNN, because everybody cover it? Is it true that Indonesia was praying to the wrong direction for 1,000 years? Yes or no? Christian Prince, first of all, Indonesian people, they were misguided by the rice. What rice? What are you talking about, man? What rice have to do with the Kaaba? I'm talking about praying to the Kaaba. They are Muslims in the wrong direction. They are praying to Africa instead of praying to Mecca. How that happen? Christian Prince, if you eat rice, you will know what I'm talking about. But Zakir Naik, what the rice have to do with praying in the wrong direction? Christian Prince, I will explain to you. If you eat rice, you feel sleepy. And if you feel sleepy, you lose direction. Very simple. Thank you very much. I got you busted. If you search for Indonesia, 1,000 years, guys, 1,000 years. Can't Allah send the Muslims a guide? Can't Allah? This is until just 2010. Until 2010, the Indonesian Muslims, I mean, look at this picture, it's scary. Look at this, they look like ghosts. Look at this. What the heck is that? Honestly, like, what the heck is that? It's like scary. It's like people wearing coffin. What is this? Yeah. So in Jakarta, Indonesian Muslim learned Friday they have a praying to the wrong direction after the country highest Islamic authority said directive on the direction of Mecca actually had people facing Africa. For how long? 1,000 years. Which means since the time they converted to Islam, they are praying to Africa. Why Allah don't send you the angel Jibreel? 1,000 years? Are you serious? Read with me. This article is 12 years old. Indonesian Muslims turned prayer back to Mecca after 1,000. Here it says 1,000 mile mistake, not 1,000 a year. 1,000 mile mistake. But since the time they start praying, they are praying this direction. I don't know for how long they are Muslims. 1,000 years, 800 years, I don't know. But since then, they are praying to Somalia. Look, it says Somalia. The worshippers told to face the error, a human error. They told they worshipped and face to Somalia. So instead of praying in direction of the... Oh, by the way, there's no impossible to pray in direction of the Kaaba. The earth is not flat. How you can even pray in the direction of the Kaaba? It's impossible. The only way is to put your head in the toilet seat upside down, you know. What you know, direction? Anyway, Muslim pray to Africa, not to Mecca. What a disaster news. I mean, imagine you pray all those years and you are praying to the wrong gods. Wrong God, brother. And Allah did not warn you. Thank you to GPS. After the GPS of the American came to Indonesia, then the Indonesian Muslim, they notice that, this is not brother Mecca, this is Somalia. So you were praying to the God of Somalia. Your Kaaba slide, you know, mud slide, too much rain. The Kaaba was pushed. And now we fix it. Right? And this is God, and this is religion. And even now, there's no way you can pray in direction of anywhere. Unless you are so close, you know. I mean, if you are close, you can. I mean, if I am like, let us say, a mile from my house, okay, I can face the house. But we are talking about we are in the end of the world. I mean, Indonesia is literally, how many hours between Saudi Arabia and Indonesia? I don't know, 12 hours? I'm not sure really. Maybe 12, 13 hours, something like that, not less. So you are talking about, I mean, really in the other side of the earth. How you can pray in the direction? Which direction? Crazy cult. Anyway, guys, as somebody says, you said you are leaving 2 hours ago. I think it is time to go. Have you searched for soil again? Men, stop for beginning. God did not want their ass. What this Mr. Gracious is saying? And Mr. Gracious is alive? I thought you died with heart attack. Anyway, guys, I got to go because I need to find the real direction for the Saudi themselves. Because who said that Mecca was there? There's many studies says Mecca was not there. They say Mecca was in Jordan. This is what the study says. So it look like Mecca is not Mecca. Even the Quran call it sometimes Mecca, sometimes call it Becca. The Quran is confused about what the name of the city is. So I want to say, guys, thank you very much for being here. I hope you have a good time and you did learn something good and new. As the purpose of what we do here is always to learn something good and new, so you can arm yourself with knowledge. Knowledge is power, and those who don't have knowledge, they are the weakest between all mankind. So always try to educate yourself in every field. The more you know, the more you are strong. The less you know, the less you are, let's say, the more you are nobody. Everybody can fool you. Everybody can take over you, control your opinion, control your mind. So educate yourself. Education is a must for those who seek to be strong, so they cannot be deceived. We are not seeking strong to be fighting in the field or boxing. No, we are seeking strong mind, so we can have strong faith. And this is faith is strength with knowledge, not with stupidity and ignorance. We don't want to have a blind faith. We want to have faith of what we know and what we believe in by knowledge, not by just mystery. So I want to say thank you. May the Lord bless you all. And I will see you soon again. This is your brother Christian Prince, who was serving you humbly for today. Take care.